All right. Proper intro. How do we do this? Hi, everyone. I'm here with Vulpes today as we are continuing through the void and going to go onward and face Hardy today. Vulpes is one of the animators for the project who has been around since, 2018, was it?
Yeah, I think it was February 2018, around then.
Okay. Yeah. So, God, that's been 5 years already. What the heck? That's
Time isn't
crazy.
real.
I know, it's not. Do you want to give a brief introduction for yourself? And once again, as usual, I made breakfast and didn't have time to eat it, so I'm just gonna be here eating my food as you do.
Okay, so hello everyone. I am Vulpes. As Ame said, I did some of the move animations, mostly the Gen 7 stuff, because that was all the new stuff at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also went back and did some of the old ones that needed redoing. And then I figured out how to do code stuff and just kind of went ham with as many animations as I could put in. So I did a lot of the form change animations as well.
Like almost all of them, right?
Yeah, I
And then,
think Sniggle did do a couple of them,
yeah, a
but
couple. Like, yeah, but that was entirely Vulpus's project. We had some extra time, I guess, between during testing, and she just kind of picked up programming on the fly and went in. And also the other advantage of you having done that was the animation editor, because I think we've talked in the past about how the animation editor is
Fucking sucks dick.
yeah, I don't know if that picked up Cass's voice,
yes.
but it fucking sucked sticks. Um,
Multiple.
multiple dicks. And Vulpes, being an animator, was able to just go into the code and fix a bunch of the bullshit, make it suck a little less dick TM.
It went out.
Mostly just fixing things that had bugged me when I was actually making the animations
Yeah, yeah,
that had been. I remember one taking me like a month because of like weird, like because of the cell placement and having to move everything around, but it wasn't simple enough that I could just copy paste frames. There was just too much stuff. And then I was like, this would be so much easier if I could just say, hey, take the movement of this cell and put it on this cell, but like 2 frames after or something. So then I
yeah.
just went in and said, and coded that. So now that's an option.
Which is pretty incredible because I haven't looked at it in depth, but from what I recall from the points that I have poked at it, the animation editor code is pretty obtuse, isn't it? Like it's not very friendly code.
I guess it, like, I think it's partly being an animator, I could sort of figure out what things were referring to as well. But if you're going in with like not really knowing what all the different terms they use for different things are and
That's true. That's a good
things,
point,
it's
and I think that's
obviously
really
going to be a
important.
bit more obscure.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Gosh, yeah. No, I'm super glad you were able to do that, and it's a bit of a shame that you couldn't do it sooner because I mean, we really were working, and by we, I mean mostly, again, big shout out to all the animators for bearing with that system for so many years before those improvements, because it was just, it was legally functional. Can I ask a question to Queen? Yeah, what's up? I'm going to start scooting around in the void in here. This is probably going to be a handful of solid reading. Desperately need that light shard. Have you been following the streams before now, Vulpus?
I watched up to, I think, Shelley,
Oh,
and
okay.
then last week's one was Jan,
Yes.
and that's about it.
I see. Okay. So you at least know what's been going on if you watched
Yeah.
last week's. You were working on a game yourself and came up with an idea that you could implement a custom field like you came up with. Is it okay if you took inspiration from it? Yeah, definitely. I think it's really nice when other games use field effects too, and the more games use it, the more like normalized it becomes. So, you know, it makes it easier for other players of fan games to adapt to it as well. I'm glad you could make it. Void isn't much reading, just the 100-hour cutscene. Fair enough. Station master here. We've got your boarding passes. Another one for Reborn City, huh? They sure have been pushing that new league. Just between you, me, and the old battered fence posts, I hear Reborn City's kind of a dump. Why anyone would want to go there is beyond me. And yet, bunch of you ambitious trainer-type folk have been heading out in droves. Off you go now. Train's leaving any minute. Bonk. Here we have all the protagonists that didn't make it. So as a general thing about the Void and why it exists, at the time that I came up with the idea for the Void, I was in Germany. I was having a, let's say subpar, month-long trip to Germany, and I was talking to somebody from...
Bar?
I don't really want to get into all that right now.
It was a hellfuck nightmare.
Alright, it was a hellfuck nightmare. Even if I didn't fully register at the time. But I was talking to a girl from the community who was extremely excited for Reborn. Those of you who were around in 2017, 18-ish might remember Thunder Maze. But she and I talked a lot back then. I don't really know how she's doing now, but she honestly helped me get through that month pretty well. And some point in the conversation with her, something she said, I don't remember what, sparked the idea for the Void. And I'm like, wait, that actually sounds like a really fun, almost like post-mortem of the entire game so far. And so I told her that she had given me a good idea. And I would have to go back and tell her what it was after E18, which didn't end up happening. So if she somehow ends up seeing this is what it was. Thanks for that. I appreciate you helping me get through that month. It was a hell of a time. But this was very much just like, you know, depression, dissociation fueled. Let's just have fun with some events. Why not? Hi, Joyce Place. Welcome. Thank you for the sub again. You Ame Germany lore. We don't want to get too deep into that lore, trust me. We're not emotionally prepared for that. So, you're Amy? I'm Julia, captain of cheer and pep and all things bubbly and bright. Oh, pop quiz. Are you going to take on the Reborn League? Correct. That was the only thing you could ever do anyway. I'll be looking forward to your challenge, so go on, get down to the Grand Hall already. I think... Doesn't she have more interesting dialogue if you say no? But I didn't want to be mean. Hey, are you Amy? I'm Kiki. It's a pleasure to meet you, but is everything okay? I heard something happened at the station. Well, you're here, so I guess you're alright. Ame asked that I bring you in for salvation, too. Don't worry, it shouldn't take long. Let's go inside. Can't believe I added friends to Reborn. I what? Yes, Glass was last week. We got through it in 2 tries, which was kind of wild. So it's not based on a live stream from Final Fantasy VII. I have never played Final Fantasy VII, and I do not know what the live stream is. But that's interesting, because I do end up getting a handful of random comparisons. Oh, thank you, Piro. I appreciate that. I'm gonna get that sound like 5 times in a row now. I still don't remember if I set that up to get a fun stream. Okay, so Vulpes, how did you first hear about Reborn?
I think I was on TV tropes.
Really? Okay.
And for some reason, I was looking at the Nightmare Fuel page.
I was
like
wondering.
All the Nightmare Fuel pages at like 12 a.m., which probably wasn't a good idea. But then I don't know if Reborn was the only fan game that had its own page, or whether the name just jumped out to me. It's been quite a long time, so I can't remember.
Sure.
And I just kind of checked it, and I was like, oh, this is actually still in progress, because this is like, I think maybe a month after episode 15 came out or something.
Okay, okay.
And I just played it, and just, yeah, it's just great. And I kept coming back to it and just loved it.
I'm really glad. God,
I would
TV
also
shows.
like to apologise to the community in general, because I have some sort of curse where if I find a piece of media that is in progress, for some reason, whenever I actually get into it, there's always a massive break. So I feel like it's maybe partly that. that caused episode 16 to take like over a year.
No. I always knew episode 16 would take that long because of having to redo all of the city wards. Like, there was never a world in which that did not take that long. Like, episode 19, for contrast, there is a world in which I did not take the year break to work on Starlight, and it still would have taken 2 years instead of 3. But episode 16 was always going to be that long. That was... I don't know. I think maybe your curse is that you just always join when things are going to go on break anyway. Maybe it's the other way around.
That's possible as well.
You should play this game eventually. You just... Wait, Tara, what? No, you're trolling, right? You have...
You're trolling, right? This is trolling?
Please tell me that you're trolling. My brother Astral is the one who play it. Oh, okay. So you've, like, seen the game. You've seen all the story. Alright, okay. You know what? Okay. Alright, it's fine. Did you do it to Homestuck as well, Vulpes? Asks Dan Cash.
I have never really interacted with Homestuck.
Okay.
I just know that there's like trolls or something in it, and that's about it.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's about what I know too, and I read the first 3 acts. Alright, because I put in both passwords, I don't actually know which of these is it. That must be Vulpes. Oops. Goodbye, Vulpes. Goodbye, Jen. Hey, you're cute. You come around here often? Just kidding. Man, Amy, I am so glad to see you. I mean, I thought I had stars in my eyes, but I guess it was just you. But really, I've been wandering around here for a while and I was starting to get worried. I have no idea how I got here or what's going on. But what do you say we stick together until we figure out what's in this place? Then again, there's only one path, so I guess that won't be hard. Come on, let's go. And so the rules here, this is meant to show that like everybody sees different paths because the void is meant to be like an interplay of the memories of the characters that fall into it. Mostly yours as the players, but we get a little bit of Kane, we get a little bit of Gardevoir. And so Kane sees completely different Starlight paths, and there's no world in which you two ever would have been able to follow together. Yes, you get rescued from the void, and Kane does not. Hi, Amy. Welcome to the super duper ultra hyper electro dazzle happy boom time house of cheer. Just ignore all the super lame reality junk. I need more banners and streamers and ways to cover up the persisting revelation the best years of my life are already behind me. From now on, everything is inevitable to decline. Wait, is that a safety hazard? Oh, who cares? I was also thinking that. I was also totally thinking that. Like, this is just a Pinkie Pie set of dialogue.
Yeah, you just did that.
I did, yeah. Pinkie Pie is my favorite pony, and I think I may have drawn on that a little bit here. Hi, Deduce, welcome. The starlight does divide. That's so true, Odd. So true. You don't instantly die in the void, but only if you stay... Well, so Kane doesn't even technically ever physically die. He just kind of gets trapped here. It is not death. It's just forcibly exit stage left. Anyway, don't think I'll go easy on you just because you're the one he chose. As former captain cheerleader, I have to convince myself that the Onyx Trainer School honor depends on me. OTS, we represent, we pack a punch and don't relent. Alright, I'm wired, so let's... I was just having fun with shit. A lot of this stuff is not like terribly in depth. Like you know, there's some hints to Julie's insecurity there, but mostly I'm just having fun with these events. Amy, a little birdie told me you were coming here to challenge my sister. I'm forced to ask myself, why? Here's what I think, Amy. I think you don't deserve to challenge her. I think you're not good enough. Not even I was good enough. Maybe you don't understand why I'm doing this, Amy. It's not like it's a matter of pride. But you're worthy, and I never was. Is the vagueness and lack of depth that led people to go crazy over it, trying to fill? Oh, that's not a question. It's the vagueness and lack of. Yeah, like this is very much. You know, I figure that will be the case, and I want to leave some room for for interpretation with all this. I will point out the spell out. I'm just having fun, she says, about the part of the game that causes by far the most emotional pain to me. Oh. Yeah, you're validating my fun so much. I appreciate that, Lua. Please notice. That's, you know, Florinia's whole talking like that is ultimately a cry for help, as Titania points out. Oh, to be lost in the never-ending void, true. You went into this game with Kingdom Hearts brain, so I'm full-on looking too deep. Listen, Joyce Place, listen. I would dare say that you have it backwards. I feel like Kingdom Hearts is very much gives the impression of being deep without actually being so, and not that Reborn is super deep, but there is at least emotional substance behind Reborn, which I think is more than I can say about Kingdom Hearts. I think Kingdom Hearts only pretends to have emotional substance and is carried infinitely hard by the music. Do you like Kingdom Hearts, Vulpes?
I've played most of it, yeah.
Okay.
I did enjoy it. Excuse me. I did enjoy it up until like Kingdom Hearts 3 because that was just there was a lot of hype around that, and it was in development for like what 8 years or something stupid like that, and then it was just like really short, and it's like I think it says something that going into the final boss of that, I felt like it was going to be like the sort of Act 1 final boss.
Yeah, the mid-boss.
And then it was just over, and I was like, oh.
Oh, that's...
But yeah, a lot of it is
bummer.
just... A lot of it feels like it's just retcons for... Like, they change their mind partway through the series, and they're like, oh yeah, this happens now. Oh yeah, this happens now. And then they try their best to weave it into something consistent.
To make it into a coherent story, because that series is a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I feel like you get when you let the anime take over a little too hard.
You think?
I think.
I think this is a pretty easy, you know, this is like, yeah, you turn on a switch and it does something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This is just like really got all the worst parts of it in there. Lots of vague plot points, a world physics that doesn't really make any sense if you think about it, but that's okay because you're probably not thinking about it. It's really just, you know, wow, look at all the crazy shit that's happening, and in that case you might as well just throw some plot points into like an RNG picker and just
into a blender.
Out,
yeah. Yeah. And so okay. I'm out here roasting some folks' childhoods. Listen, I also grew up with the first Kingdom Hearts game. I really liked it. And then I never went back to it because I felt like the more I looked at that series, the less there was, which I think is about accurate.
Everybody's got to grow up sometimes.
Yeah. They sure did do Kyrie dirty. I'm not a huge fan of that.
Who's Kyrie?
Sorry, I think you mean car. It's just a car. She could just be replaced by a car.
You could just replace Kyrie with like she's barely even a plot device. I don't even know what she's just girl-shaped object.
Correct. I hate that term. But that's absolutely true. Make or break for KH is it just if you're willing to roll with it. Yeah, like somebody else, where was that? Games shouldn't be deep, they should be fun. They should be fun first, but I would really like it if there was substance to them, you know? I just, especially because it plays so hard on the feelings, I feel like
shouldn't be deep.
it is almost, I don't want to say insulting to the players to have there only be nothing behind it, but like it is dishonest or something to that effect.
A good scenario ain't that hard. Most people just suck.
Somebody asked, Vulpes, do you like Breaking Bad?
I have never watched it.
You've never watched it? Okay, that's understandable.
I don't really watch many TV shows or movies, to be honest.
Do you mainly watch anime? Because I know we talked about Kage Pro.
I used to watch a fair bit of it, but even then, I've not been watching much anime lately either. I mostly just play games now.
That's reasonable, I think. And I think pretty much the same for me. God, did you have... What was her name? What was the name of the girl that you had in your avatar from Kage Pro? I forget her name. Was it Kay?
Kido.
Kita? Yeah. Did you have that avatar when you first applied?
I think I did, yeah, because...
That might have been one of the reasons that you stuck out to me. I don't know if that's true or not. I think that you were just like... I think you were one of the only people who had, like, actual experience, so you were going to be, like, an easy shoo-in regardless. But I think that was, like, a bonus to help me remember you.
I'm just trying to look when the song came out, because it was literally the first several months after the song. So if I know when the song came out, please load up YouTube. 5th of January 2018. So yeah, I probably would have had the icon at that point.
Okay, yeah.
I think I applied in February, so a month or so after.
Yeah, I remember you having that all the time until is it Rhyme now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think my Reborn one might still be Kido. I'm not sure. I'll just check. Just because I don't go on the site that often now, so yeah, Reborn icon on the Reborn forums is still Kido.
Well, it's a good choice. I appreciated it. Even though I think you're like the only other person who I've met who knows that show. So just now Cal ran off the side of the screen and he is one tile too low. I need to move these spots to the left down. Could somebody make that a bug report, please? I'm in pain that I didn't see that before, but yeah, they're supposed to run across the paths, not below the paths. Pain. This all is showing kind of the development between Cal, Blake, and Shelley. Just some brief hints of it. And then, you know, it's Blake hits Cal and he runs away, and then Cal hits Shelley and she runs away. It's just parallels that he didn't mean to uphold. What are you doing, you stupid creep? Let go of me already! The subject lashes out with verbal and physical aggression and refuses to listen to either instruction or reason. Let's begin our initial treatment at 100 volts. This pattern of starlight here is exactly in the shape of the orphanage. Do you really think you can get away with this, you dirty old man? She scratched me. Restrain her and make that 110 volts instead. Now, Heather, just hold still. You might feel a little shock. I've been sitting on that shock line for years before E19. Oh, it was you! Your light shines brightest in the darkness, after all. So make sure you never, ever, ever stop shining no matter what happens. I know this is a little backwards, but just hang in there, okay? She should open a path for you. Unless... Thank you, Julie. Hey, Amy? If two stars fall, passing like ships in the night, do you think they would wish upon each other? If that happens, then which wish would win? Maybe we just have to chase them to horizon to find out. You know, that's another chasing to the horizon reference that I didn't remember that I put in. I really keep unintentionally coming back to that. That line about if two stars wish on each other, passing like ships in the night, which would win, was originally a line from her intro profile in the online league, which didn't really have much context besides her personality being based on stars and wishes. So I'm glad that the game could give it some context, and we could just sneak that reference in. Can't actually find the spot to put them. There should be a bug report forum still. Chasing Sleep and roll credits, true. One thing I don't understand, why are there multiple copies of Blake and Elias? Those are because the people are kind of consuming their lives at that point. Just kind of like being suffocated under that, is my thought. Also, those are originally events and I had to make tiles of Blake and Elias to reduce lag in these maps. Lou, I see you asked what knows what show. Kagero Project. It was a show based on a bunch of Vocaloid songs. A series of them, specifically. There's Starlight bug report. There should be normal bug reports. Hold on. What's going on here? It is Reborn bug reporting, 4th forum down, right below online play. Yeah, there is a forum for it. It just doesn't see much use. This is for Elizabeth's funeral, and then I copied this later for the post game quest. And then kind of made the events based on that. Oh, geez, there you are. It's really you this time, right? I lost you before. I've been seeing some really weird stuff down here. Earlier, I saw a version of you, but I think it was from the past. You didn't seem to even see me at all. It was pretty cold. But I thought we were gonna stick together. Listen, I keep feeling like there's something just behind me. So, really, stay close this time, okay? Let's go slow together. Nope. This whole area, at least at the front here, should be to proportion directly in the shape of the academy. And then it changes up here, but... Welcome once more. I return as well, striking in perfect immobility with all the fury that my soul may harbor. Because that is all I can amount to. Defeat the inner chaos? Did you think I was only talking about Zen of the mind? I could be centered to dead zero, and I will still end up. How is it fair that I had to be the one to go? How is it fair that my body had to be the one killing itself? I didn't ask for this. Do you think I was satisfied? Do you think I didn't have dreams? Do you think I knew a single goddamn thing about staying calm? Defeat the inner chaos? I am made of chaos, and there's nothing I can do about that. Unlike these whiny, self-absorbed children whose greatest problem is what their fucking hair looks like, they have no idea what it's like to wake up one day and suddenly hear that despite everything they have ever sought to do with their life, despite giving themselves to others every step of the way, despite surviving a family that communicated mainly in drugs and violence, despite having climbed over all of the shit of life just to make one goddamn oasis of serenity in this fucking ballistic world, the only reward you get is death. Tear my stomach open, pick out my intestines. Grind them into the dirt. My body would do it all on its own anyway. The only thing I've ever taught was mercy. But no one could teach that to me. I might have had an edgy moment. Maybe, I don't know. This is the LaRue twins' divorce. Kane's over here. It's a younger sprite of him hiding in the corner while Lana and that's Kane's dad argue. Please stop fighting. Please come back. I'll clean my room and won't complain anymore. I'll do anything I need to. Just please love each other again. It's not that they are divorced. They're dealing with the divorce. Not giving us the strength DMX when we want it to freaking save children. Piro, have you played 319? Because she doesn't have that anymore. Alright, so now the family splits. On the dad's side, this is his boyfriend. Dad's gay now. This is, I think it was a therapist. I think Kane got therapy is what I was going for there. And then on the mom's side, because they split the custody, I think it's Tez. This is just a lot of them and Kane leaving Aya. So you finally left too, huh? I know I'm a toxic person, but you could at least say bye first. I guess that's just what I deserve. What is Corey doing there? That's a good question. So, Corey is part of the pressure because Corey passes gym status to Kane, and then Kane leaves and passes it to Aya. So Corey is just kind of like part of the circumstance that push Aya into having to deal with shit. They both went home with Tez, and Kane ran away from home. I think there was a split custody situation, and then Dad moves away. Is there any character in this game that had a happy childhood? Probably. Hardy, maybe? But I feel like people in life who have happy childhoods are also minority. We meet again. I have no intention of extending to you the same mercy as when last we met. I am here to reclaim what has been stolen from me. Lizzie, I will do what must be done for your sake. That's the same dialogue from the Heather segment, because she basically sees Heather as Lizzie. Blast that feral woman! And blast her husband twice. History cares nothing for hopeless romanticism. He is as naive as I've been, for neither does history care for its own study. I only need to recover the scars I carved, not earn my own. But I understand now. Reality accepts nothing less than full commitment and sacrifice. Those unwilling to choose that path have it chosen for them. Then there's only one road left to walk. Ironic. Perhaps this loss was just what I needed to gleam the way. He's mad. Okay, Paul. Yeah. I think sad childhoods are the minority. I'm glad that you have that view. It is not my experience. What do you think, Vulpes? How was you? I don't want you getting off the details, but like, did you generally have a good childhood?
I'd say mostly, yeah. Did have some rough times at some points, but got through them.
Like nothing terribly traumatic.
Well,
all right, fair enough.
Not stuff that I'm comfortable talking about.
Oh, of course, I don't want to put you on the spot. I'm just like, I feel like everybody...
it was like one big thing mainly, but then, of course, the way things work, it usually other stuff pops up after the big thing,
exactly,
and that happened.
Yeah,
but I feel like honestly, it's probably more of a bell curve than anything. Like people having fully happy childhoods are in the minority. People having fully depressing or anything like that childhoods are in the minority, and most people will have a mix.
Yeah. I figured it's similar to queer people and then people happening to find each other. The same could be true with people with bad childhoods. That's probably true. Imagine being a guest expecting to be asked questions about the game you worked on and you get, how was your childhood? I'm sorry, I really didn't mean to put you on the spot. I'm just like, we have somebody else here.
That's all right.
Also, like, I feel like for the fact that you've been around for 5 years, I don't really know that much about your background. Like, I know that you're in animation university. That was a sentence, but you get what I mean. The animation university.
I wasn't even doing animation. I was doing game design. There was just an animation unit in it, and I was like, oh, I actually enjoy this.
Oh, that's that. I don't think I knew that. And then
I just thought, oh yeah, I'll do animation now, because it hadn't even really occurred to me that was a thing that I could do until that point.
So that's really interesting to me, because like I haven't taken, any kind of formal education for games or anything, but like I got into being passable at animations by necessity of having to make the game. So although I understand conceptually that it is something that you could like just enjoy more, I'm like, God, that's wild to me that some people just prefer doing that part of it that I really just want to like get done. So I'm very grateful for you. I'm glad. And then, God, so I put up that application asking for animators, and were you thinking or expecting anything in particular when you applied?
I was expecting that you'd probably pick someone else over me because I had like very little experience at that point with actual animation, and I thought things going through my head was stuff like, oh, there's probably more people who have had practice with the essentials animation stuff and just animation in general, who would probably be more likely to be helpful with that part of things.
Yeah.
But apparently I was the only person who had experience.
Yeah, I don't even remember if you were the only person. There's one person I gotta give a shout out to Hycrox. He's been in the community for a while, but I feel a little bit bad to Hycrox because I think when I've like posted requests for help on like 4 different occasions, he's asked and offered, and I'm like, oh god, I feel so bad for not taking you up on it this time either, buddy. But like, I don't even know if he had experienced the animations in particular. I think he just wanted to help out. But like, no, you definitely seemed to have the most experience, and for how late we were in the project, because like you said earlier, we had kind of finished gens 1 through 6 by the time you came in, more or less. I thought it would be helpful to have someone who already had a good foundation for it. If it were the start of a project, I might have chosen differently because, Smeargle and MDE, who was our other animator for a long time, both of them I kind of taught from the ground up. So I really actually hadn't worked with somebody coming in with prior experience before you. So that was also a learning experience for me in that way. You sure took some hella detailed notes. You did not have to go that hard on it, but I did appreciate it.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be helpful to get my thought process down.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes I think of things and I can sort of see where my thought process has gone. Like, oh, I'm doing the animation in this way because of this reason. And sometimes I think that that thought process won't be as obvious to other people sometimes. So I just thought, note everything down. And that way, if anything comes up, I can sort of work off of, like, you'd already sort of know what I was trying to go for with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you did really well with that. I appreciated that. And your animations were usually bangers out the gate.
Thank you.
With the original 2, Smeargle and MD, I had, Smeargle's strength was that he would also have a lot of bangers out the gate. He didn't work very reliably. MD's strength was he worked super reliably. Like every week he would come back and have the full set of reviews accounted for and follow up on the feedback. His animations sometimes took up to 10 passes back and forth between us, but he would always follow through. And I feel like yours is just like, you have that base of knowledge that I don't even have to necessarily... You have the bangers, and I don't even necessarily have to explain very much what to go for there, because you already have such a strong concept for a lot of the moves. It was... I don't know, I appreciated your help. And it was like an awkward position I felt at first, because I think we brought you in as MDE was on the way out, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, because he kind of got caught up with life. And because he worked so regularly, he and Smeargle had taken care of most of the moves, and then it just slowed down to a relative crawl. And I'm like, okay, we may only have, 150 moves out of, I don't know how many, 700 or something left, but we do need some extra help here. And I kind of felt awkward about that, because I thought that we wouldn't necessarily need you for the full length of development. But, I mean, no, then it did take that long, and then you got to do all the extra stuff, and then you picked up on programming. And also, for those who don't know, I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit here now. Vulpes has historically been, like, super shy and, like, wouldn't really talk in the server much. So I wasn't sure if she would be up to come out on stream. I appreciate you coming out on stream, by the way. But also, this is just to say that, like, the more you have gotten comfortable with talking to us and stuff, and the little bits and pieces we have gotten to be able to get to know you has been really wonderful to see, and I'm glad that we had the time to do that. And I appreciate you opening up more over time.
Yeah. I am still working on that. It is still a bit difficult
Of course.
for me. But,
Yeah.
well, if you if your personality's away for 10+ years, it's gonna take a bit of time.
Sure. Yeah.
So hopefully, eventually,
I
I'll
mean,
be able to get around that.
it seems like you're doing well. As long as it's comfortable for you and all that. Let it be known that your presence is appreciated.
Thank you.
I really
I'm
appreciate
glad I
it.
could be here.
I really enjoyed what you wrote in your dev room dialogue about getting over anxiety and stuff.
Mhm.
That was really nice.
Yeah.
Catching up on chat real quick. May have missed it, but what game does Vulpes make? Well, that was just that you were in game design classes, right? But did you work on any prior projects?
Nothing that ever came out of aside from the actual class project things. That was all I really worked on.
And then you're still in university by now, right?
Sorry?
Pyro asked if you work in the game industry or if you're still studying.
I'm not studying,
Oh, okay.
and I guess I technically am in the games industry because I'm helping with Starlight.
Oh, that's true.
So,
I guess we are the games industry. That's crazy. I wish I could do like a full-time wage, but
no
American
worries
rent.
about it.
Have you ever thought of the obedience mechanic in Pokemon games? I think that it makes more sense with context from the anime, like Charizard. Ash's Charizard just leveled up too quickly. I think on its own I can see it being confusing. Would you like to know a Driftbloom strategy? Sure, hit me with it. What animations, Vulpes, did you do for Reborn that stood out to you? And take a moment to think about it while I read Lynn's dialogue. How funny. You thought you were strong together, and here you are now. Let this be a lesson. Numbers do not help. Friends do not help. Nothing ever helps. No one ever helps. No one ever, 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 ever helps. Okay.
Right. The first one coming to mind is the Genesis Supernova one, because I did quite a lot of the sprite work, the Mew moving about in that one.
Yeah, and you made like a cool pseudo 3D effect for it, right?
Yeah. So that's probably the one I'm most proud of, and it did take quite a lot of effort. I'm just trying to think of some of the others. I think Liquidation came out quite good.
Yeah.
Sparkling Aria as well. I think I was quite happy with the audio for that.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I remember specifically trying to base it on. It was one of the victory themes, like the intro bit for that.
Oh.
And I was messing with the sound to try and get the notes right. I think that came out really well.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. I don't think I either realized or remembered that, and that's a cool detail.
Yeah. And then another one in terms of sound is Power Trip, because I originally had a sort of the sort of giggle sound effect they used for Nasty Plot and things like that in the mainline games. And it didn't. I think you'd said it didn't really fit, and I was thinking about what else I could do to convey the sort of same idea of the Pokemon is laughing evilly. And then I managed to get the thing of playing the cry a few times in gradually lower pitches. And when I actually got that sorted, I was like, oh, that's really good.
Yeah, no,
So I'm quite
I do
proud
like
of that as well. And honourable mention to Strength Sap, which is the one that took a month because of the annoying spiral.
Yeah, that was God, I'm sitting. I pulled up the list of animations and who did what, and Strength Sap was the first one there. Was that your first animation? Was no.
No, my first one was Toxic Thread, I think.
Okay.
I had
that
like a
sounds
batch.
right.
It was Toxic Thread, Baby Doll Eye, not Baby Doll Eyes. What was it? Tearful Look. I used the graphics from Baby Doll Eyes. That's why I'm getting confused. And then I can't remember the last one.
I can probably see. I see Throat Chop on here pretty early. So Strength Sap, Throat Chop. God, where even is Toxic Thread? Because I remember that. I do remember that being early. Toxic Thread.
I'm just trying to see if I can find my. Oh, I have the notes file still. Oh, never mind.
Oh, for some reason,
I've
Toxic
had-
Thread is 200 entries down. What were you saying? You had?
I'm trying to find because I kept all of the note files just in case I ever needed to go back to them, but I can't actually find. Oh, here we go. I have. There we go. That'll work. I've got just a list of the actual animations, like all the files sorted from the final versions. So, Aurora Veil, I was quite happy with.
That was one of your first ones overall, I think. That was super cool.
Oh, the date modified thing isn't working because it's folders. That's fun. Oh no, it's because I had to make a backup of them, and this is the backup.
I have
So
the
this
list
is
of
all
moves
going
at
up
least.
later on. Yeah. What other? I think Throat Chop. I was quite happy with how I actually managed to get the sort of distorted sound graphic at the end to sort of indicate the can't use sound moves thing. Oh, I think laser focus was the other one in the first batch.
Oh, that one ended up being very sharp too for an early one.
Yeah, because I remember for my first batch, I thought, oh, I'll pick a few animations that probably won't be used too often, just so that if I wind up coming back to them and I'm not too happy with them, then it's not too big of a deal.
Yeah. And then somebody went and put laser focus on a seed.
Yeah.
Smart Strike, Sonic Boom, Shore Up, Roar of Time, Excel Rock, Floral Healing, Zing Zap, Baneful Bunker, Beak Blast, Pollen Puff, Gear Up, Spotlight, Multi Attack. Oh yeah, you did the colors for Multi Attack or something, right?
Yeah, that was me messing. That was mostly just because I'd had the sort of niggling in the back of my head that it would be really cool if we could do multiple animations for this to sort of indicate what the type is, and then I redid all the animation editor code stuff to the point where instead of having to go through each individual frame and change each individual cell manually to be the new graphic, I could literally just say, okay, take all of these and push the pattern forward, like I think it was 10 spaces.
Yeah.
So instead of needing to like redo it frame by frame by frame, I could literally just go like click, click, click. All the new graphics were in.
That's pretty huge. Appreciate that a lot. Revelation Dance. Did we end up doing something similar with Revelation Dance with the types?
I don't think we did in the end. I think most of it was more because I made the animation before all of that. I think I made it deliberately more focused on like it looks more like a flying type move. I think if they don't go in with knowledge. Yeah. I think if I did make any changes to it, it'd probably just be like some particle effect type stuff coming off the ground, maybe. Just something small like that.
Yeah. Corkscrew Crash, that's a big one. Stoked Spark Surfer. Oh god.
I forgot about that one.
Do you still have the GIF of Fern in that?
I might do. I don't know.
So for a time when Vulpes was working on Stoked Spark Surfer, because it It has, I think my mouse picks up. It has like the enemy battler swooshes across the screen, and our test battler for a while was Fern's redone sprite. After we realized that in his old sprite, his pants were on backwards, just Fern things, and so we had a sprite of none Fern with left leg, where his pants were just rotated 90 degrees for memes. And we played that with Stoked Spark Surfer, and it was truly beautiful. If we don't have that somewhere, that's a true loss for history. that was so silly.
I'll see if I can find it. If I do find it, I'll share it on Discord or something, and you can show the stream.
Okay. And then let's Genesis Supernova, of course. Let's Snuggle Forever and Klinger Soul Blaze. And then
I did Klinger Soul Blaze, didn't I? I think that was one I did like really quickly.
I think Smeargle had started that one, and then we passed it to you to finish up.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then you also, as a last minute project, somebody pointed out when they were looking in it on the Patreon server recently that the Gen 8 moves actually have animations in the game already, all of which they're just taken from other existing animations and like quickly recolored or like low effort, or I shouldn't say low effort, but like high mileage changes to make them suit the Gen 8 moves a bit better. That was one of your last projects, right? How was that?
Yeah.
Was that manageable?
Yeah, that was manageable because I think partway through that was when I started doing all the code stuff. So then I was able to code in stuff like a batch color change, for example, so I could change the color of the graphics as a whole rather than
right
doing so started off slow, and then I got most of it done quite quickly after I started implementing all that. I do remember being annoyed at the amount that they just made beam in Gen 8. Like, they just so many beam moves.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's only like 3 animations that fit with like the sort of like the power levels and
so it's stuff. Like what can you possibly do?
But it's like, how many times can I change hyper beam to make it look different and also fit?
Mm-hmm. And so the reason I wanted to do that was just in case, of the eventual Gen 8 mods or something, at least there would be something in there, even if it's not like a fully actualized custom animation. Mm-hmm. It's something.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you doing all those at the last minute.
Yeah, no worries. I got to mess about with the animation stuff that I'd coded in. So that was fun.
Yeah. Get some good experience for you there. I really was impressed by how quickly you picked up all that programming stuff.
Yeah, I had done some programming before, but it was all in like a really old coding language. I think I looked it up in the end and it went out of use in like 1990 or something, despite me learning that language in like, I think it was 2013, 2014.
How did you come across it?
Coding class at a local we call them colleges over here, but I know in the US college and university are kind of like interchangeable terms when they're not over here. Because over here it like regular schooling goes up to like 16.
Right.
Then you have which is GCSEs. Then A levels are usually in a college, and that's goes up to you if you assuming you go straight into it. It takes you up to 18, so it's a couple of years, and then there's university, which is like the familiar stuff from the US, where it's like 3 or 4 years usually.
Yeah, that's fascinating that they were still teaching that.
I think it's just because I live in the middle of nowhere. So this is like the place I went is the only city in the entire county, I think.
Yeah, I see.
It was just so I think they just didn't bother updating everything to modern languages
Bummer.
because it was easier for them to just have the same teacher teach for
Yeah.
years and years and years in a language they already knew.
Yeah, that sucks.
Which, fair enough. I mean, a lot of the principles carry over.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, come
It's
on,
just-
y'all.
Aside from like a couple of, I think the main difference that kept tripping me up was the difference between setting a variable to a specific thing and checking. Because in the old language, setting a variable, you use colon equals, and in order to check, you used a single equals sign. But of course, in modern languages and Ruby,
Right.
which is what Reborn uses, a single equals is used for setting the variable, and to check it, you use a double equals. So that was definitely something that broke a lot of things when I was first starting.
Yeah, that'll do it. That's so bizarre that the older one used that to set, I guess, or to check. No, that doesn't make sense to me. VHDL in hardware languages also uses that. I see. So yeah, just the lower level older thing. Weird. What is your favorite Pokemon? Asks Aquamirror. Oh, and somebody else asked earlier if you're British, and I think as of the description of the schooling system, we can just say yeah.
Yeah. Favorite Pokemon, like top of the pack is Cantonian Ninetales, and
Good
then
choice.
some that are sort of like up there as favorites but not top favorite are Mawile, Noivern, Alolan Ninetales, Silvally. Those are the ones that are coming to mind.
Good choices. I'm sorry, Silvally and Mawile notwithstanding, it's like, okay, we've got the fox, and we've got the dragon. Yep, Vulpes Draconis, that checks out.
Yeah.
What is it like being British? I don't know what kind of answer you can give to that. That's
It
something
is
to ask.
like being American, but just different side of the ocean.
Basically. Surprised Zorua isn't one of them given the secret room. I mean, I'm sure Zorua
Oh,
is up there too.
yeah, Zoro and Zoroark are up there. I'm just like, I have a lot of Pokemon that I like, and then when I'm asked what's your favorite Pokemon, a lot of the time I just blank because there's so many, and it's like,
Yeah.
how many are there? And I
There's
remember
a
them
lot of
all.
cute things
The answer
now.
is usually no.
Yeah.
Sorry?
There's just a lot of cute Pokemon now.
Yeah.
Are Ame and Vulpes a duo doubles team who specialize their respective Ninetales? I'm sure we can make that happen.
I'd be down to do that.
Once upon a time, a belt of meteors swept across the universe. But one day, one of those little meteors decided she wanted to go further than any of the others ever had. So she kicked up her trail, revved up her space dust, and off she went, sailing far, far away across the galaxy. Further than all of her best friends, further than all her loving family, further than any meteor had ever known it was possible to even go. And when she was very, very tired of flying so far away, she found a little planet she liked, and she thought that she would finally rest. So the little meteor started to descend to the planet's surface. But that planet's atmosphere was so hot and so thick, and the little meteor was so exhausted from flying so many millions and millions of moons across space, that she burnt up right in the sky. And do you know what happened? All the people on that planet looked up, and they said, "Look, a shooting star. Let's make a wish." And so, everyone on that little planet, which had scarcely seen such a star in its life, wished and wished and wished and wished with all their might, and those people smiled and knew hope like they had never known before, and felt happy. And by the time it would have come to the surface, there was nothing left of the little meteor at all. It had all, poof, vanished. And even though it disappeared from the world forever, do you know what that little meteor did? It lived happily ever after, in the joy it brought, and the hearts it touched, and the smiles it inspired in its final moments as a shooting star. So even with its last little itty-bitty bit of life, it never, ever regretted what it had done, even once. So make sure to smile for me too, okay? You could have been a meteorite instead. And so Xena leaves Rolfs with Radamus, and here we get into the hat display. Some of which haven't happened yet. Like this, one of these I think I put in, like this cat mask one. The player hasn't seen yet at that point. Rad dad fashion, so true. Luna is surrounded by all that bullshit. Because originally, I don't know how clearly this comes up, but Anna is the one that puts Luna in contact with Radamus via Shade. So, like, Anna kind of makes Luna her surrogate sister to help Radamus out there. What's the difference between a meteor and a meteorite? Meteorites crash down to the surface of the planet. Meteors burn up. Then we have the team over here. So the fact that we're getting some of Luna's memories in here is because at this point in the void, she's in looking for you. This is funny. Hey, don't you even know who your real ally is? Don't you? Don't you? Hey, who's really made it so you could get this far? Who? Hey, haven't you been having fun? Haven't you? Haven't you? So you're like me. Why else would you keep playing? This path looks like ribs. I believe this was actually meant to be the archways, going into the archways at the start of the Cité Astra. Oh, you know, I forgot to prepare for this fight. No. 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 Well, you know what they say. Actually, probably I should... Did I miss the pickup for this? I didn't look at it. I don't even remember what type this is because Krim mostly designed this one. They also did an excellent job with the sprite. Alright. Nature power is Moonlight, right? Psychic Dark, yeah, I think I should Moonlight. Not Moonlight, Moonblast. I make Pokemon games. Uh-oh. And this thing is a dream mirror. I forgot we did that. I forgot all of this. Just use Eruption. I should have just used Eruption. Do we get the free switch? Yes. If you don't know this thing is a Dream Mirror user, I imagine it might be a little bit more difficult, but I feel like you can still just keep switching. Do you know why this Losis event in Bixbision Wasteland was replaced with Delmise? We wanted to get Delmise in earlier, and it felt like Solosis could still be wild there, so it wasn't a loss. Actually, it's wild earlier, even. That's a benefit for Solosis. We wanted to get both Solosis and Delmise earlier, now that I think of it. It's fine, I have 80 fairy type moves, true. I don't have the Starlight Field Effect notes, so maybe that's why that didn't show. Anyway, that was super easy. Should have buffed Hypno. No! Why didn't I use Eruption? True. Cringe. Oh, you can't talk to this pulse machine like all the others. That should have the pulse number on it. 8. Yeah. It's hailing, so D-Gleam wasn't boosted. That's true, I forgot about that. Thank you for the reminder, Alex. Can somebody post that pulse should be interactable? And another bug thread or something, just a typo is fine. The Hypno does have no guard, yes. Here, let's look at the thing for that. Digitally lobotomized for full efficiency. Its function is perfect control. It projects its unconsciousness onto target locations and can directly manipulate up to 2 individuals at a time. That's why, in order to take control of you, they have to let Shelly go. Like, it can still put people to sleep, but can only manipulate 2 at a time. The Hypno buff was being added to the game. Ame, I love fairy types. Also, Ame, Hypno is kind of weak, haha. How do you digitally lobotomize it? Don't worry about it. I don't have that answer. I write words, not answers. Got fucked up. All these people are having a bad time. So a lobotomy is an old medical procedure through which a needle is inserted through the inner corner of an eye, which has the effect of rendering patients extremely docile. It might be a way of killing them without killing them. It's really hard to tell because people who are lobotomized tend to not say words even though they're still, like, alive. They just kind of sit there and stare forward into space all the time. It's terrifying and inhumane. How do you do that to digitally? I don't know. That's not my problem to figure out. Use your imagination. If this is what it's like to die, I don't mind. I'm happy. I was finally able to be of use to my master, and that feeling is my own. My own. No matter how intensely I may feel it, even I know the truth. All of my desire for him is just a reflection of his own longing for her. And neither of us could ever realize it. After all, a human marrying a Pokemon? How gosh, unthinkable. These aren't the Dark Ages anymore. I'm not stupid. Just a mess. And even if I pull out all of those thoughts, square out of my head, I know they will all come rushing back the moment I saw him again. Is that just how crushes are? Or is it just part of my fate to only have his feelings? I suppose I'll never find out. Not anymore. Oh, for now, I would rather like to sleep. For a very, very long time. It's Terra's old sprite. We get to see it later. Bonk. There is a speedrun optimization here, which I think is quirky, where you can technically avoid having to bonk that if you just go around in the first place. You're saving seconds already. Gardevoir is attracted to a human reverse internet. I don't think I like reverse internet. This is just about Gardevoir's emotion, or mirroring emotions. It's better that way, this way, but you're not the one who gets to decide that. That's the waterfall. Amy. I don't want to give up. I want to be able to fight like you. Please. It hurts. Don't forget me. That's from the scene in Ametrine. How much longer do you think we have to stay out here? As long as a rope? What? How long is a rope? As long as it needs to be. Huh? That was something my, middle school history teacher always said. And I know he was trying to be funny, but it just was not a helpful answer. How does Gardevoir speak through the TV? Does she insert thoughts into the minds of all the viewers? You know, that's a really good point. I can honestly say I hadn't really thought about that. But maybe there's some kind of, psychic recording software. I was just tired. Stop making excuses. I didn't mean to ruin anything. If you're really tired, then go to sleep. Here, in the snow? No, in the luxury down bed we've got. Yes, out here. Dad won't be mad after this, right? He will if you keep asking things like that. I'm so cold. Yes, that's kind of the point. I want to go inside. Stop complaining. It's your fault we're in this situation in the first place. I'm sorry. No, you're not. I am. You're sounding like him. Better him than you. Some of that experience is like, hi Shade. Hi Yuffie. So some of their conversation there is based on some of my own experience with my dad. Like some of the things Blake there is saying is stuff that my dad would say, and the whole them being left out in the cold as a punishment is something that almost happened to me once or twice. So that was, you know, just a bit of trying to put my own experience in this. Hello, Kindred. But I'm very curious how you came up with the entire void scene. I did say earlier it was something that somebody I was talking to at the time gave me the idea for it, indirectly. I don't think they realized that they gave me the idea for it. And then after that, it was just me having fun with stuff. Bonk. Oh, I did this slower. Everybody falls. Some just need a little help. Attaches psychic messages to the media itself. This is what true brainwashing content is. I don't know what this is. This is just me putting filler in at this point. Oops. Bye-bye. Bunk. Okay, so usually devs get asked this. Vulpes, who's your favorite character in Reborn?
Adrian or Kane, I think.
Oh, good choices.
I like both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are responsible choices. You say fun, I say diving into character trauma. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure those are the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Enough. How do you do, Amy? It has been a fair few moments since our last visit, has it not? But let us not linger on this. I fear you have dallied here far too long as is. Though I do not fault you for it, this is my home rather than yours. So I will handle this place from here. Please. The way forward is yours alone. And now we have the forever cutscene. Either I fell asleep in between or I skipped some Kane dialogue. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Where did that event go? Did I just walk by it and not see it? Hold on.
Oh yeah, you did walk by it, because I meant to say that, oh, didn't he have dialogue there, but then you've gone into the next event by that point.
Oops.
It is
Whoops.
just before, which scene was it? The one with Sigmund and the lots of copies of Elizabeth.
Awkward. Yeah, I it's fair for you to, like, I was thinking, where did that event go? Wasn't there another? How did I manage that? I didn't make this game. Damn, I've been outed. Oh yeah, I just straight up missed that event. Great. It was right after all the Kane stuff. Oh, it really is just you, isn't it? This place is running me a bit ragged, and not in a good way. If I keep seeing things about you, probably you've seen some things about me too. To be honest, I'd rather just forget about most of that stuff. Well, obviously that's why I ran. But then, the only place I ever ran was in circles. I guess it's hard to do anything else when you don't know where to go. Hey, do you know what you want to do in the future? Like, after all of this is over? And it's yes, no. I would have said yeah, because I have my things set. Yeah, I'm not too surprised. So many people seem like they're just cut out and set on whatever it is they want to do, but I was never like that. I can barely settle on a romantic partner. Even with how much I joke and flirt about that stuff, it's just a way of keeping myself safe from commitments and disappointment. if those are even any different. Who knows? Maybe one day I can find somewhere I can actually feel like I belong, place or person, either way. But I've gotten around enough to know that I'm the problem, not them. Even if they do nothing wrong, I still feel like I can never stay. But hey, everyone's a little bit broken, right? And some pieces just don't fit together, no matter how much lotion. Oh, well, never mind. You can go on ahead this time. Sticking together never works out anyway. Maybe just this time, I'll stop running. This is why Anna's delusion for Kane is black holes in his eyes, because he can't see his own future. We'll tell you when you're older, Thru. Unbelievable. Amidst everything, look who it is once again. Are you yourself, Amy? Please, don't be alarmed. It is only me. I recognize this is a somewhat unfortunate visage for you to return to, so allow me. Perhaps you will remember me better this way. Okay, so the Elias thing was another reference to online league sprites. There was a point in time where Radamus, during the online events, just dressed up as Elias to fuck with him. That was all there is to it. And so I wanted to reference that in game at some point. If you would be so kind, please pay no mind to my appearance before. It is one of my more, shall we say, esoteric headpieces. Perhaps I can explain in time, but for now... Miss Vaycay, have you seen? Not all is lost after all. Not for good. Yeah, I see that. But too much has been. We aren't doing so well, you see. This requires some damage control. Nurse Rejoimus is on the case. I don't promise to have medical qualifications, but I do promise to help as best I can. A male Nurse Joy? Who ever heard of that? Now listen, my dear, we don't discriminate here in the healthcare industry. Besides, no one ever heard of anything until it was invented, so let us not be too quick to dismiss new developments. The new developments have dismissed themselves. I should have known. This is the only way things go. You can certainly choose to believe that if you are happier doing so, but I suspect you are not. Of course I'm not. No one would be happy knowing that they'll lose everything sooner or later. At least this way we don't get hurt. Au contraire, you are hurt all the same. You are only taking on that pain now, as opposed to later. And with no guarantee when or where later might arrive, you bear an awful lot of wounds in the meantime. Is that truly worth it, I wonder? And what about you? Aren't you upset over losing her? Over both of them? Of course I am. But for better or worse, I am a veteran when it comes to losing hers. One might say I've been bearing an awful lot of wounds through some mean times. Another might say we very often tell others the advice we ourselves need to hear. And yet another might say that it is better to focus on those whom we still have. For instance, saving that girl was rather heroic of you. This pity doesn't suit your triumph. What triumph? I couldn't stop them, any of them. What's broken can't be fixed. Clearly it can't be replaced either. There's no going back. And yet Amy has come. Who knows if yet another might. But I believe we are being rude to our new arrival. Amy must be quite confused by now. I will explain. I had been here and there before Luna informed me she had been contacted. She told me that a friend had summoned her to this place. I thought it curious, so I offered to escort her. That is how we came to be here. One note, originally Sarah was not going to have a larger role in the story, but people were disappointed by her lack of one, rightfully so, of course. So I wrote her into the Glass Gauntlet section a little bit late. I feel like it worked out, especially with the whole Eve and Lumi matching Sarah and Radamus bit, but but that was somewhat of a change based on community feedback to wanting more Sarah. And like, you know, I agree with that. It felt better for her to come here and, you know, have the bit with Bennett as well. That wasn't originally part of the plan. Well, how is it? It's an adventure. An elevator with a cut cable frosting and sprinkles of glass all over it. I believe I'll wait for supper. Indeed, one would need to be mad to climb down through this. So, I take it you're going immediately? I just might. Gardevoir? Luna too? What are you doing here? How do you do, Mother? And that means that person must be... Based on the strange hat, Radamus. Radamus M. Van Halen, to be precise. My hat resents your words, but I, on the other hand, am honored to make your acquaintance. I've heard much about you, madam. Likewise. Luna, dear, are you unwell? Are you crying? The M stands for psychic. Magic, yes. Yes, there we go. I am perfectly fine. There is no need to worry about me. I'm just very happy. I'm happy to have you both back. Right. So, Miss Vauclain, what brings you to these remote parts? Parenting. Well, it seems like you've come to the right place. I didn't mean... I suppose so. And now we finally have the whole family back together. What a wonderful but shocking turn of events. Miss Vauclain, would I be right in deducing that this magnificent Gardevoir was the one who directed you to this place? What? Preposterous! You would. The slander! Gardevoir, you were the one who arranged this rendezvous? Why, the audacity to imply such a thing! I could faint on the very spot. Gardevoir? La la la, fainting over here. Thank you. Truly. Madam, I need to find my son. And should he be here, we shall. Do you not think it wise to go together? I know better than to count on others staying. Mother? And even if it be unwise, do you not think it kind? Fine, I understand. I'll go with you all. Fantastic! Sarah joined the party! Although I do not wish to be an inconvenience, I very much appreciate it. Now what have I gotten myself into? Something messy. Something wonderful. At least take me out to dinner before that. Though I suppose you might have a certain amount of charm were it not for the goofy hat. Now you listen here. I may have set you two up, but don't forget that Master belongs to me. Madam, I assure you, were it not for the goofy hats, I would have nothing at all. You don't say. Then I suppose you've got to step over me after all. Mother, please do not say things like that now. I know very well how much loss you've felt throughout your life, but unless it can somehow be changed, there is no use in lamenting that which we cannot have in favor of appreciating that which we can. Aren't we losing sight of the situation here? We're only working together. It's not like we're about to be a happy little family forever or something. That might depend on who you ask. For some reason, Gardevoir sometimes has down bad energy, just a tad. Yeah, for some reason. I wonder why. It's like we just mentioned that in the Void. Does Luna call them parents just to escape from Elias? Yeah, basically. Like, there might be a little bit of delusion in there, just as a treat. And speaking of working together, just what exactly are you all doing up here? Parenting. I have received a summons to this place from my dear friend Shade. Of course, I simply had to answer it. We were just assessing the viability of the glass pit of death you see before you as an entrance. Glass pit of death sounds like it's about my speed. That's not even all glass down there. There's ice, too. Goodness, you can tell from such a height? Oh, please, who do you think I am? More importantly, it hasn't melted yet. Whatever happened here happened recently. The plot thickens. It seems we're even less alone than we thought. Elias has cat ears, same as Ame. Coincidence? I think not. No, there's a cause and effect there, but not the correlation you're implying, I think. If we may be of some service to whomever is responsible for this, let us make haste. I'm sure there must be a less destructively created entrance. Then let us scout out and find that. Right. We can do it, or my name isn't Ash Ketchum. Who? But Master, your name isn't Ash Ketchum. And even that can't stop us. Come, let us be off. Hi, Lost Train, welcome. You know, I'm enjoying the game. We're going through the cutscene. I've read this once or twice. We found an elevator for open use in the building nearby, and so we made our way through the factory with little difficulty. I presume thanks, in part, to you, Amy. And soon we arrived in this room, where we saw... You know what it's time for! Lights, cameras, and drama! Quickly, give them to Volcarona. Amy handed over the sapphire bracelets. Amy, we should have guessed it was you! Excellent work, Volcarona, thank you. I suspect that is not quite the Amy we know. Which of the characters has the best drip or the worst drip? I think best has to be Radimus by default. I think King is up there. Who has the worst? Terra? I think it's Terra. What do you think, Vulpes?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Oh yeah, Elias, that's true. Well, no, Elias does have his drip when he has his Elite Four outfit, his agent clothes, not his priest clothes though. Do I like crunchy munchies? I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean, and I'm afraid to answer that. Kane had drip when the game started development, true. Bennett! Oh, for mother! Why did you have to come here too? For you, obvious. Your hair. It looks... better. I'm aware, Mother, thank you. Now please go. I'm sorry Kane's drip doesn't stand up in 2023. Oh, damn. That's a hot take. I don't agree, but that's because I'm still a scene kid at heart. Crunchy munchies are the munchiest crunchies. They can mean anything we want them to. Sure. Mom, you're making me look bad in front of my friends, Thru. I don't wish for you to get dragged into this. You should have thought of that before you went and joined up with a terrorist organization. Firstly, they're more of a religious organization than a terrorist one. Secondly, I don't approve of everything they do. I'm just doing a few jobs for them until I've paid my dues. You'll be paying your dues for a while yet when we're out of here. Come on, or you're grounded for the next 45 years. Make it 50. I'm not coming home. You can't treat me like a child forever, Mother. Zero, what are the lights doing? And of course, the lights are Lumini and Eve trying to power cycle the pulse. It's just a momentary dip in the power. I, don't think it's anything to worry about? You may not be a child, but are your actions truly becoming of an adult? My actions? I'm sorry, I cannot for a second take you serious with that ridiculous mask on. I told him it was awful. Not all hats are created equal, but that doesn't mean they deserve any less respect. That cat burglar mask was the second one I did for him, and the sprite for it was just truly awful. I can't express how awful that was. Yes, when the power goes dark, that's when the lines are seen in the pre-glass fights. That is true. Mother, I'm glad people noticed that. Mother, how you managed to make every new boyfriend weirder than the last? Don't get the wrong idea here. Besides, you should already know that Master is vigorously taken. Do you have to phrase it like that? It's been a while, Gardevoir. Not long enough, if you ask me. I don't fault you for feeling that way. Please understand that I am no longer the same person you once knew. I would much rather everyone let the past go, but I understand that won't be possible. Especially for you, Luna. I beg your pardon? I offer my sincere apologies for how I acted before, but you need not accept them. There would be little point in doing so anyway. I disrespected you by treating you as an object before a person. There's no excuse for this. Zero, is the pulse using too much power or something? The energy readings appear to be within acceptable levels. The stupid thing just keeps power cycling for some reason. But, it doesn't seem to have interrupted its hypnosis, so please don't worry. We'll continue to analyze it, so don't hesitate if you want us to use Amy to grind them into dust. That man seems mildly unwell. Zero, we only need to subdue them, not do anything drastic. Subdue them, huh? Okay, Amy, would you be so kind? Zero, that's not... So that's how it is. You have Amy hypnotized. And that hideous pulse back there is the source. Then there is only one thing we must do, is there not? We must defeat Amy in order to free her. They were wise to seize Amy as their defense line, given that she has bested all of us at some point. But not all of us together. Wait. Master, there was something you wished to do, was there not? Please allow me to begin. Luna, you... Please be silent. You claim to have changed, and you've chosen your side. If you are genuine in your prior assertions, then do what it is you set out to do for yourself now. You mean that if I truly respect you as a person, I need not take pity on or spare you as an enemy? It was never my intention for it to come to this, but so be it. I will cut the ties myself. Amy, defeat Luna. Could you intentionally lose the battle in Rejuve and get another, cutscene? Which battle are you thinking of? But no, I feel like that would be too easy to opt out of the entire Glass Gauntlet. I know that it's kind of awkward where losing is probably better here, but we can chalk that up to Anna insisting everything has to be a certain way. It was Anna. Blame it on her.
Kids these days.
True. As someone who has dissociative identity disorder, Zell is extremely fun to write for fanfic. Oh, neat. So this is it. But this was only the natural outcome. There is no standing up to us anymore. With Amy on our side, we might as well be invincible. Are you so sure of that? After all, my only role here is to soften Amy enough for my parents to overcome. We will triumph as a family. If you will? Don't worry, my dear Luna. Even through Amy, there's no way we'll lose to these creeps. Right, Master? I suppose it's our turn after all. Thank you for the follow, Lost Chain. Miss Vauclain, may I have the honor of this battle? Last time a man asked me that, he left the arena crying. That's a risk I'm interested in taking right now. Then let's hope you can satisfy. Seriously, Mother? I'm going to be sick here. And this situation is stacked. Amy, use these. Bennett tossed Amy the full restores. And Zero, please actually do something already. That's your cue, Amy. Go get them! In fact, you might say Almeria has so much drip you'll drown if you aren't careful. Wait, Rejuve has a hypnotized battle as well? I didn't remember that. Oops. Well, neat. Just what is that trainer made of? Providence, I suspect. I see. So in the end, it still hasn't been enough. Amy performs even better than I expected. Perhaps I've underestimated that woman. And it's all thanks to my pulse. Zero, do not forget that I was the one who did the work. But it's okay, you helped a lot too. And just what part of this are you proud of? None of this was necessary. You could have just put them to sleep from the start. Well, this was helpful to test. Don't speak. The only thing that's been tested is your willingness to indulge. I'm sorry, I don't understand. I didn't get that far? Oof. Failure on my part. You've just been enjoying puppeting around Amy as an outlet for your frustrations with them. Nothing is gained by battling now, and we'll just put them to rest anyway. But I said to actually do something, not to waste time and jeopardize the Pulse's security in a 1 versus 2 scenario. I will take responsibility for the battle with Luna, but this fight served no other purpose than to stroke your own ego. I just wanted to make sure Amy was fully under control. You wanted to feel that control. I assume because you've lacked autonomy over your own body for so long. Am I wrong? And I read your file. You were just a grunt before joining with those girls, correct? Not an effective one either. They were your only chance to stand out, which is why you cling to them even now. The kind of behavior you've demonstrated today exemplifies your incompetence. You let your emotions get in the way of your outcome. Until you learn to set aside ambitions and truly focus on yourself and your goals, you will never change. Did that missionary teach you that? No, Mother. That man has done little for me than place me in footsteps my feet are not fit to fill. Even now I understand that I cannot hope to fully live up to the title of Elite Four. In realizing this, I learned to step back and take a more serious approach to self-improvement. I believe the results should speak for themselves. The results don't speak louder than you still sitting on the wrong side of the coin. Is it wrong to return one's debts? The end of a means does not make its meaning end. Are you sure that you are not running from your own choices? Zero, this has dragged on for far too long already. If you truly want to make yourself useful, put them to sleep already so we can move on. Got it. You'll all be out of our way for good now. You won't. Gardevoir? You are already injured from that fight. There is no need to push yourself further. They would put Master to sleep. Toss him aside and never let him wake up again. Maybe dispose of him outright after what he did. I'll never ever let that happen. What is she doing? As you may know, Gardevoir are fiercely loyal to their trainers. It is said that they will do anything in their power to protect their trainer, even if it costs them their own life. Gardevoir, don't try to stop me! This is what I need to do. For you. Rather than doing something dramatic, though I know you are such a fan of that, let us have faith in the world and our other companions. Who's left? Who can stop Amy? Who won't just be put to sleep? Gardevoir, please. No, this is the only way. I'll destroy that machine altogether. This is my purpose. This is not your... Yes, it is. To make sure you lived on, all those years ago. This is what she asked me to do. She... No harm will come to your master, Gardevoir. You have my word. You think we can believe you after everything? He will sleep and nothing more. When it is over, he will wake. I do not wish to see you hurt either. Liar! After what you've done to Luna and Amy, and after what Team Meteor intends to do after this, you want to make allowances now? I'll never believe that. This energy... In the most dire of circumstances, it is said that Gardevoir can use all of its power to go so far as even creating a small black hole. Hello, Rexian, welcome. I appreciate that. And thank you for the follow. That's right. No matter how strong that pulse may be, I can erase it altogether. Zero. I can set this right, and I will. Let Kane go, seize her before it's too late. On it! Master! Whatever happens, please remember, I will always love you more than she or anyone else ever could. Zero! I've got it! Are we too late? Her energy is spiraling out of control. Everyone get out of here! What about Amy and the others? There's no time. Volcarona, go already! Oh, and thank you for the sub, Taco. If you have ever walked into a class late, then you will know what it is like. Heads turn, eyes peel. You think of 1,000 things that they did not, but feel all the same. In that moment, you are the sole star in the sky, and they are trying to sleep.
Expectation and anxiety are frequent guests at an otherwise unplanned tea party. And while their sugar sits untouched, the sun is setting far too slowly. Never soon enough, it will be time for them to go along their way. They will retire for the evening, home to their wives, to their children, children who grow tired, children who grow up asleep. But still you must peel their eyes. There comes a time in every child's life where they must lay down their teaspoon, pinch the corners of fabric, and pull the tablecloth away. Enough, she says, and follows the lights out. When there is only one path, there is only one way to go. And when in the darkness the path cannot be seen at all, then you are free. For now, the time has come for me to follow my own infinity. Farewell, Mother. Farewell, Father. It has been like a dream.
Okay. Odd says, explain the poem. I've already forgotten what I just read, so one sec. I found it the other day. I already can't remember. Anyway. This is basically... God, what was it that I even said the other day? It was like anxiety and having to deal with pressure. Compared to, just going into the safety and potential of darkness. Gardevoir didn't die, but she's in the black hole. What's going on with Bennett? Bennett is such an incel. And I'm sorry Lara kinda buster for being so good to him. Oh. Didn't feel like he had enough time to breathe for him to deserve it. I mean, that's true. He doesn't deserve it. Lara is about extending kindness to people even who don't deserve it. Sad game lead you to meet fans who love the game. I'm glad. That's awesome. I'm really glad you've enjoyed it. Doesn't earn his redemption still. He still has the most selfish motivations. Yeah. I don't really think of him that way, but I'm all for him being controversial. I certainly expect that not everybody will forgive him. I tried to write him as... especially after this part, where he kind of gets away from Meteor. I tried to write him as being, as respectful as possible. I frankly think it is, speaking in terms of actual incels, right? He is incelish before, but I think it is important for incels to be given the freedom or peace of mind, however you want to phrase that. Let's say the absolution, to become better people, Meanwhile, Paul Clark killing people because he can. Yeah, it's just like, Luna feels like she is kind of an intruder on the world. And she's waking herself up from that by following a path that she knows she has to. Even though it is fully against expectations and, yeah. I don't know if that is enough of an explanation for you. But that was kind of my approach to writing it. It was weird that Lara had that faith in him before he proved that. Yeah, no, that's Lara's personality flaw. And probably it shouldn't have worked out so well for her. But, oops. I'm glad, I'm glad we're getting Bennett discourse here. I was really hoping that, I could, after I went so hard on making Bennett unlikable earlier in the game, I was really hoping that with this chapter I could pull people back around to liking him. And mission successful, at least to have a discussion, which is perfect as far as I'm concerned. Neurotypicals can be assholes too. Some might say especially. Note, I say this, technically being neurotypical. Maybe aside from the Alexithymia, I don't know. No. Why? Why did... Control, right? And competence. This is always how it is. This is always how it was. Beast. Oh, Beast? Why did I read it as Beast? Best is not good enough. Best is not good enough. I told you why, Zero. What do we do? What to do? Eve, tell me what we should do. Report back to Labradora. Lynn will want to know what happened. I'll take the bracelets and finish from here. That's right. As long as we have the sapphire bracelets, it's okay. She won't be mad. Will she? Go. Yes! Gardevoir, I'm sorry it had to come to this. Mother, are you alright?
Never better.
Good. And Luna, where is Luna? Do you know what happened to Luna?
Luna stepped into that black hole on her own.
She... Is this the end you hoped to achieve? Shut up. I don't want to hear it from someone who couldn't even control his own Pokemon. Then from whom would you prefer to hear it? Is this the only person you listen to? Don't kid me. He and I used each other, nothing more. I have no respect for his beliefs or his goals. But you enact them all the same, with little alternative. But now that you mention it, I can disappear from here. They will conclude I was lost in the damage. I can break free of this now. Why did it cost Luna? And Gardevoir, thank you. Mother, you may rest assured I will not meddle with this group again. You're still grounded. That's fine, I'm still not coming home. I need to destroy the surveillance footage from here. And what about your cohort? He will make a report, correct? I'm a fool. I have to stop him immediately.
Excuse me?
Oh, you're awake now. I'm glad you're safe. Miss Belrose, I am deeply sorry for what happened. I've heard that these once belonged to your family. Please take them.
Bennett gave Laura the sapphire bracelets. I don't understand.
There's no time. I have to hurry.
Maybe I could help you?
Your confusion is apparent. Listen, it's because of me that you lost your position as a member of the Elite Four. Elias created a false notice of termination, then we hypnotized you to handwrite a letter of resignation, and then I took over your spot. I am truly sorry for what has happened, but right now I must go.
Does that mean I can't help?
You are a deeply concerning person. Let me put it more simply. I've been your enemy. There's no reason for you to help me.
I think there is. Do people have to be defined by their flaws and mistakes?
Even if we are not defined by them, we cannot just ignore them.
I understand that you must have done some bad things, but I also understand that you're doing your best to change. If I can be of any help, I would like to.
You sound just like her.
I have two sisters, and they aren't particularly spotless either. Nobody is. Still, I've learned that in order to survive, we have to work together no matter what.
Fine, do whatever you want. There's a somewhat disheveled man in black currently going on foot from here to Labrador. Can you catch him?
If we can change the weather, my Pokemon should be able to outspeed anyone. I'll do it.
Then I'll destroy the security footage and meet up with you. And I'll see if I can bring some food. Despite our systems, you must be starving after sleeping for so long. We can work out the details with the Elite Four then, okay?
That sounds wonderful.
Deal. Let's go quickly. Yeah, she's basically super high whiz, in my opinion. How do you feel about having one long cutscene where so many character arcs move towards resolution at once? I enjoyed it. I like that there is so much going on. I would prefer to have that density in other cases as well. Like, rather than this being the sole exception of everything being tied up and so much happening at once, I would rather have everything else be going on more, rather than this happening less, if that makes sense. I do feel like the hour-long cutscene is an appropriate wind down after what is, for many people, the wall that is Glass Gauntlet, though. I know that it's a bit much. I might mind that less than some people. I do think that the Hypno helps with the Void a lot, so it's not just all that. Yes, her naivety is a choice she makes. I think that's a fair way to put it. Is it fair to read Lara's character as being so forgiving and helpful as being resultant of her neurosis and upbringing? I mean, yeah, I actually think that's completely fair. I think that it's two sides of that same coin, really.
Alright, so much for a happy little family. Luna, Gargavor, Kane, and even Amy. Everyone always disappears. Let us not make a bad situation worse by exercising its extremes. Unbelievable.
You know, that's a good point about if Sarah knows who King is. He was a gym leader briefly. She probably knows of him. And here we are. I don't know if they really interacted before this. I don't know by what means or madness Shade pulled you back into this world. Oh, you know, Kane probably challenged her, actually. Because Kane got up to Radamus. So probably Kane fought her for a badge. But it appears you have business that you are not permitted to quit. If I may be so bold, how was it on your end that you managed to return? Luna herself showed you the way.
Luna did? Then
it seems there are still miracles that defy our understandings. Will you still hold your wounds close, Miss Vulpes?
I don't know what to count on anymore. Maybe nothing.
Now you're getting it. Let us presume to hope that she'll be back one day. After all, you never know who will stroll through the door next. Everyone is always coming and going and coming right back.
Amy, you made it back! Not that I doubted Nostra or anything. Where did these kids come from? Oh my god, are you okay? What happened?
I'm sorry?
Those cracks all over your skin. Do you need help?
On my skin? Am I getting wrinkles again?
No, not wrinkles, cracks. See, all over here and here and here.
I don't? Don't worry about it. She always sees things other people don't.
That seems safe. It's not always. Jeez.
But really, what are you doing here? This isn't a place for children.
Nuh-uh. If this place wasn't for children, then why would we be here?
That's what I'm asking. We're here for him.
Yep. Nostra made us sleep so that poor Hypno couldn't. And then we came to meet him. Hi, cute hat. Have you been crying?
Not anymore. You really are just like her. Come here.
Wait, don't tell me you're there. What, like everyone didn't see that coming?
That was kind of a nod at the community because pretty much everyone had guessed going into episode 18 that they were related. At least in the community. I don't know how it was for people who weren't in the community, and I'm curious for those who first played the game after E19, how obvious that was to them. Yeah, I don't really know how I would have come to that conclusion having just met you and all.
Sorry to keep you waiting so long.
It is so very, very alright.
Waiting.
I'm just happy to see you again. Vulpes, did you know that they were related before this?
I think I'd either figured it out or seen other people talking about it.
Okay.
But yeah, I think. Yeah, I seem to remember going in that I knew.
Okay.
Well, thought I knew.
Yeah.
And then confirmed.
Okay. So it sounds like it's mainly the community's theorizing that that had people figure it out and put the dots together. You've both gotten so big. When I last saw you, you were just this tiny. And if anyone should be sorry to keep someone waiting, it's me. You both deserved so much more.
It's alright. Nostra says this is the only way it could have happened.
I do know how that is. So you've still got it. That's a relief.
Of course I do. We would never willingly let go of something you gave us. And that Cleffa, too. His name's Nomos. Nomos, hello. It's nice to meet you. He says hi. Noelle, tell him everything Nomos says, not just the first part. Noelle, you said. And if I heard correctly, you go by Anna. Yep, that's us. Shouldn't you already know that? Those aren't the names that your mother chose for you. Painter. Fantasia. Those are such cool names. She had some flair about her.
Okay, I think I said this before, but so in character creation, when we were figuring out the season 2 leaders, Painter and Fantasia were the names that I originally suggested for these twins, and the people that we were working with were like, Anna and Noelle. Noelle's pun name was Normal, to sound vaguely like that. And it's because I had forgotten that Elle's name was originally Noelle, and I knew that Elle was meant to be short for something, and I misremembered it as Elias. So I picked that pun, forgot about it, and then picked it again later. No, I had a bunch of fairy types. Hypno gave me no trouble. Anna, I don't actually remember why Anna, except for probably it being like from within Fantasia. There might have been something else that I'm forgetting. But then the names were also for their connection, because Nostra, Radamus, Nostradamus. Who were the last gym leaders we did? Because I didn't talk about their pun names explicitly. Titania is obvious. Also the Fairy Queen. Amaria is obvious. Marina. Yeah, no, a lot of people, a surprisingly few number of people connected Nostradamus before. How you come up with your fictional names? For Pokemon names, it's just puns. For other things, I have a more involved way of feeling out what I already want for them and then looking for some relevant roots from, like, etymology and stuff. It depends. You did clock Nostradamus, nice. We'll be seeing no puns in Starlight, absolutely not. So some of Starlight's characters are older and originally had pun names, and I've kind of carried that forward into lore, but most of them have evolved past that. So we'll see. It'll be a mix. She had some flair about her. But when I had to let you go, I purposely withheld your name so there would be no way they could find you. Oh, and I didn't actually get to what I was saying. The names Painter and Fantasia, in my mind, always go together as a pair, like Bert and Ernie or Ben and Jerry, like that kind of thing, solely because there were two girls in my elementary school classes named that were best friends. And I grew up just thinking that those were, firstly, normal names, and secondly, always went together. So it just felt natural for me to put them in as twins. Isn't etymology just puns with more steps? You know what? That's so true. Who is they? Yes, I went to elementary school with a girl named Painter. Timir. Will you tell us why Timir is after you? It is not a simple story, but I will say it as clearly as I can. This dialogue changes depending on route. No hate, I'm sure she's great, but Lamau. Mistakes are lessons waiting to be learned. And some might say I have been very well educated indeed. During one such lesson, a certain person helped me understand that particular objects could be very dangerous in that group's possession. So I did what I had to do and stole those particular objects. In order to disguise their origin, I asked a close friend to fashion each of them into jewelry. That was, of course, serious. Jewelry was a passion of his back then, but he was unprepared for the energy those keys held, and one of them broke in half. He was able to recover it, and he did fantastic work with the others, so I gave him one of the finished pieces as thanks. With the others, I sought out buyers,
In particular, I searched for strong trainers who would be able to effectively defend the pieces should Meteor try to recover them. Caroline and Monty were the first. With 2 gym leaders together, I felt certain they would be safe. They chose the sapphire key to match their eldest daughter's name. Next was Mr. Molinar. He chose the ring for his engagement. And the last one I entrusted to the beauty who showed me the light. That was your mother. So I reinvented myself with a new name, a new personality, and a new history. Amy, I hope you will forgive me for deceiving you. My wealth has never come from my success as a chess player. It came from the sales of those keys and a few extra digits taken from Meteor's coffers. I always hoped to be able to fulfill your mother's dream of living in a castle. Who did he give the emerald brooch? He gave that. Sirius kept that one, then that passed from Sirius to Elias, Elias to Luna. Yeah, burying it would be the smart choice. I always think about that, about MacGuffins and other media. But, you know, that's not how the story was built. That's not what needed to happen here. How does he go from a friendly blacksmith to a stabby man? That's specifically when Corey takes his eye. Because he wanted to get those things back. And then he sacrificed for it. Did you also go out of your way to make sure that each of the crystals, when possessed by someone, they embodied that crystal's respective virtue? It's been a general theme, approximately, not a perfect one. I wouldn't say that it has been like a direct focus, but I have thought about that. That's so cool! I do not defend thievery, but I dare say it was a better use of the money than they would have found for it. And for a time, she was happy. I thought it would all end happily. But it turns out, happily ever after just means the next story hasn't started yet. Timir learned of what I had done, who I was, and where the keys were, and so it began anew. Your mother was a walking miracle. For better or worse, people often outlive their miracles. After her disappearance, I was scared, above all else, for both of your safeties. I do like crystals. I can't be named after them and after one and not like them, come on. I didn't want any harm to come to you, so I had to make sure you didn't get mixed up with them. And just look how that turned out. It's okay, I know you were just doing your best. Whether it was right or not. Here, you should have this back. Radamus gave Anna the amethyst pendant. You had it! I was so sad after it was taken. I was so sad that I got sick and almost died of sadness. Why did you give it to her? It was not one of my better plays, perhaps. I was hoping Timir would never find it if it was with you two, but instead, it gave him cause to seek you out. Perhaps sentimentality got the better of me. Whether that was right or wrong. No, I mean, why did you give it to her and not me? Why is Anna the one that's always special? Here, you can keep it. No, that's okay. I don't want it. I just wanted to know. Do crystals possess powers? A friend of mine believes they do. I do think that crystals are... They have energy correspondences. I'm Wiccan. And when I talk about magic, that's with a K. It's referring not to like show magic, pull a rabbit out of a hat, or like Harry Potter magic. But magic with a K refers to like an energy... A flow of energy in the world, like a subtle undercurrent. And I do think that energy comes from belief itself. So I believe that because crystals are given such prominence and faith, they do have some power and correspondences. I just wanted to know. You deserve it more than I do. It's not about deserving it or not, just take it. Anna, I can't even hear Nomos. I never could. I shouldn't hold something like that. I know you can't. What? That's okay. You'll understand eventually. If you ever want to hold the pendant instead, just ask me, okay? Okay. So, why did you give it to Anna? It was your mother's before. I simply thought it would suit her better. But it seems there may be some cause and effect in your similarities after all. Still, I understand that was unfair to you. Why did she nearly die, asks Todd. We can just write that off as, you know, world reality, amethyst pendant, beyond bullshit. But that's why Nostra had to drink the medicine. Just her vibes were off. Let's just say her vibes were off. She almost died from bad vibes. I hope you can forgive me. It's not like it matters. I don't understand any of you. However do you mean? It's been how many years and you just all go on like nothing happened? You act like all of you knew the whole time that you would meet here. The future has a funny way of never being how we knew it. But we never had to know. All we had to do was decide. The future cannot hold a candle to resolution. Well, to tell the truth, I knew all along. It was just a matter of waiting for the right timing. And since I knew Daddy would be lonely in the meantime, I asked my friend to help out. I beg your pardon? To whom are you referring? Mr. Shadow, of course. You are referring to the same shade that Luna spoke of. Yep, I asked Mr. Shadow to lead her to you so you wouldn't be alone like before. Then when she came to stay with me, was that your doing as well? Nope! Either she or Mr. Shadow did that on their own. And just now, when she stepped into the black hole, was that in your plan? She did what? I see. In other words, she was never meant to leave me. Because then you would have just been lonely again. Plus, I think she would have made a great older sister. Don't you, Noelle? I still don't know who you're talking about. I guess Luna and Noelle really never meet, huh? But even when they're meant to stick around, no one does. Nobody's always there, but somebody always is. That means there's nobody to miss. You're unbelievable. What? I can totally be believed. Right, Noelle? Sometimes. Noelle? But despite being unbelievable, here you all are. Then that just means you need to change your beliefs. If how you see things isn't an accurate reflection of reality, then why keep looking that way? You're the last person who should be saying that. Or the first. A reflection of reality, huh? In that case, maybe it's better just to put the mirror down. Let there be no reflection at all. And see things however works best for you. Smooth talking runs in the family, doesn't it? They got it from their mother. I don't think that's true. Maybe we all did. And maybe we all have room to learn from them too. It's tough to lose people, but you can just lean on the people still around you. So depend on us now. Hey, who's the parent here? Oops. But you are, of course, correct. I only lament that I had to say goodbye to Gardevoir and Luna to say hello to you. Not to mention the other boy. But I'll admit, it could have been much worse given the circumstances. Perhaps the only reason the damage was so minimal was because Gardevoir fought to control herself even through their hypnosis. Loyal to the very end? That's something I'm not used to. Maybe it's time you changed that. Excuse us? Sorry to interrupt, but... You did it! You did it! Great job to both of you. Did you open a daycare service while I wasn't looking? Maybe if I also wasn't looking? Okay, everybody. These are my friends, Lumi and Eve. Hi. We've caused a lot of trouble for you. Please accept my apologies. I believe the man in black who was here before had called out to you. That is correct, if pitiable. It's kind of a long story, but basically we were stuck together with him for a long time in the same body. I wouldn't recommend the experience. In essence, we've had to work for Team Meteor the entire time. I developed the pulse systems that have been used to create a nearly insurmountable degree of trouble. Oh, thanks for that. Hey, she didn't do it because she wanted to. I agreed to develop the machines for Team Meteor only under the condition that Lumi's physical body would be adequately preserved. That both of our bodies would be. You don't need to keep putting yourself aside. I always intended to find a way to restore ourselves to our proper bodies, But working towards that was impossible when we didn't even have the privacy of our own thoughts. I'm happy to be back, but I wish we didn't have to lose that poor Magnezone for it. And full control took a little while to get used to again. It was difficult at first, yes. Thank you again for what you did. Totally! And what exactly was that? Noel and I switched places with these girls. Nostra said it would be really important for them to wake up right away. Thanks to that, we were able to help Amy reach this place. We hid in and moved through vents to evade Team Meteor and stole our Pokemon back to help Amy. Thanks for taking good care of Glaceon, Amy. Though what happened after Amy actually got here could have gone better. Yeah, don't get us wrong, Amy. We're not trying to fault you. But we knew that Zero would try to use Hypno to control you, so we tried to stop it. We tried to cut the system's power as soon as he used it on you. But unfortunately, the power supply had an auto-reboot function. I hadn't accounted for this to preempt it. So all we were able to do was power cycle the system. We were hoping if we did it enough, maybe it would make enough holes in the control scheme for Amy to break through. But you saw the result. That's okay, you tried as best you could. I feel really bad for Kane. He never even had a chance to act on his own from the time he came here to when he fell into the black hole. Yeah, but Amy came back, so maybe he can too.
Speaking of coming back, it may be prudent for us to quit this place before too long.
Would it be alright for us to go with you? We don't really know where else to turn to get away from Team Meteor. Are you kidding? Not only can you come with us, you have to.
I see no reason why not.
Everyone will be ready waiting in Calcenon City. I have some information about Team Meteor that will be of relevance to you all as well.
What should we do about this one?
Hey there, sleepyhead. It's time to wake up. Look at all these friends surrounding you. What happened? Where is Kane? We'll have to explain later. For now, we need to get going. By the way, there was still that boy sleeping in one of the elevators still.
That sounds like a cozy place.
We tried to wake him up after Hypno had been stopped, but he still wouldn't move. Even Glaceon's heal bell wouldn't work. He just went right back to sleep every time.
We'll see what we can do. Should worst come to worst, I'll carry him myself.
Can you really get him by yourself?
All the way to Calcenon? Certainly not. But as long as we have our Pokemon, anything is possible. We have been talking amongst ourselves for like an hour, it's true.
Don't worry, Daddy, you'll see her again. Nostra said so.
Did she now? Then I suppose I have no choice but to believe it. Let us be on our way. And
you're coming too, right? Yay, we can all go together!
Alright, now we have a bunch of other dialogue here. Vulpes, I feel kind of bad that you happen to land on the like 1,000,000-hour cutscene episode. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Alright, just
I don't mind it being a cutscene one anyway, because I am terrible at Pokemon battles, really. So I would not have much commentary to offer for those.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I still hope to beat Hari today. We've a little less than a couple hours to do so. Alright. Let's start with you.
It's not the same here without King. Why did it have to happen like that? King and I went to go look for Anna and Noelle and eventually found that old building. We stepped inside to have a look around and we didn't see anything suspicious until we tried to leave and found the door had been blocked. When we were trying to figure out what to do, I suddenly felt incredibly sleepy. And the next thing I knew, I woke up surrounded by everyone inside that place. I heard that I inconvenienced you when you went to stop Team Meteor. I'm sorry for that. But really, I just want Ken back. I wish I could have done something to save him. Thinking about this isn't helping. I'll go try to talk to someone instead.
What? If you have something to say, just say it already.
Yep, sorry.
And just what are you sorry for?
Nothing. I mean, for talking to you?
Is that a question?
Huh?
You say that like it's a question. Are you not sure that's what you're sorry for?
Yes? No, Alright, let's back up. What are you sorry for? For bothering you. Did I say I was bothered? No, but you seem like it. That's because I'm always bothered, but not by you in particular, unless you keep acting like this. If you want to talk, talk. If you want to stop, if I want you to stop, I'll tell you. Don't just go assuming things on your own. Got it? Yes. Good. So, is there a reason you're hanging around me, girlie? Who, me? Yes. I heard that you were interested in literature too, and I thought that maybe you must be a nice person, and that maybe we could be friends. Please don't be mad. Please don't be mad. Please don't be mad. Oh, for the love of... You are such a child. I'm sorry. Don't. Huh? Stand up straight. Look me in the eyes. I said in the eyes. Better. Now if you want something, say it straight out. Don't break eye contact. No ums. Okay. I want to be friends and discuss lots of books with you. Not bad. Do whatever you want, but I don't promise anything. Yay! Sarah and Titania also have, sorry, not Sarah and Titania, Sarah and Shelly, that's the correct combination of characters, also have different conversations here because in Zekrom route, Titania isn't here. So somebody had to. And also because this is a highly missable conversation, I'll go ahead and read through that. So talking to Sarah. So you're Reborn's bug type gym leader, huh? Yep, that's me. Somehow. My son studies bug types as well. I'm sure he's been envious of your position. Huh? Oh, I hope I wasn't taking anything away from him. Nothing he apparently needed, if so. He seems to have found an in with the Elite Four, for better or worse. What? That's amazing! I'd love to meet him someday. Yeah, I don't know about that. But I bet you're really proud. Yeah, I don't know about that either. I'd rather him just come home. I wonder if my brothers ever felt the same way. He never really seemed to care. In my experience, men often don't. And then the reverse is... Hey, I heard you saved me before. I don't really know how to thank you, but... thanks. Oh, sure. I mean, I didn't even know who you were or what was going on there. I just kind of took the chance I had. But that's okay. I'm no one special anyway, and I know how that is. It's only because I took a straight chance that I was able to come to Reborn and become a gym leader like my brother. You traveled alone at your age? Yep. To be honest, I'm more timid now than when I was younger. Back then, I didn't really think things through. I just leapt forward with whatever I felt was right. But a lot has happened since coming here. I'm still not sure if I'm better or worse now. That's a sentiment I can share. But maybe there's no point in comparing ourselves to our pasts. I hear it's better to look forward after all. Yeah, I'll keep trying. The fact that Shelly used to be less timid is partly because she does watch Corey die just before you meet her. But also because, again, Online League reference, when I originally did her sprites, and this is true of Flurnia as well, they kind of had generic personalities at first, and then they fell into their more, let's say, morose personalities over time and developing in the league because I wanted to find something interesting to do with them, basically, and that was the direction they each took naturally. Happy little family, huh? I'm having these naive thoughts again. Maybe I could stand to try again. Lost time could not be recovered, but better times can always be found. Still, I'll be beyond content to play the role of father I haven't been, for as long as I may. For the time being, I must entrust the rest to you, Amy. This is pointless. I don't know what I expected from finding our father, but it wasn't this. Another! Just switch all the hats. Why not? We'll leave him within this Magius one. Why doesn't Sarah just ask Rat out right there? I mean, she's indecisive and afraid to trust people. Hi, Amy. Don't you think the air here is great? It's been a long time since I've been able to stop and enjoy something like this. I hope you don't take things like that for granted. I know I did. By the way, have you talked to my sister yet? She wanted to tell you about a few things. Oh yeah, let's also talk to the others in here. Party's still asleep. In the absence of significant other developments, investigation into the past of this locale has been completed. This place was originally constructed as little more than a residential counterpart to Labrador City. The two halves once functioned as a single city funded by the uzhe company to attract trainers and host competitive events. Accordingly, the infrastructure of Labrador is designed to accommodate things such as official matches and large-scale tournaments. However, after Reborn's prior collapse and uzhe's subsequent closure, Labrador fell into a state of neglect. The residential sector was purchased by Silphco and rebranded to Calcinon City, while the original competitive ward has remained largely unmaintained. Perhaps this can be used to one party's advantage. True, such a good convo. I've told some of the others already, but there's a few things you need to know about Team Meteor. As time went on, Zero was increasingly ostracized from the proverbial inner circle, so there is much I cannot speak to. However, I can tell you in depth about the remaining pulse systems. There are 4 you must be aware of. Pulse Mime, Pulse Klotzer, Pulse 2, and Dark Pulse. If you want to hear their details, ask me for them. Lara being safe isn't enough. She should be here with us. If anything happens to her under that boy's watch, he will dearly regret it. Oh, that's it. It was her choice. What's the big deal? If she wants to prance off with some new boy toy, then forget her. She can. In the meantime, maybe try not to have an aneurysm. Okay. Now this. Alright. And she's gone again. Out to find Lara, no doubt. Guess I'll stay put here. If she gets back and I'm gone, I'm pretty sure she'll just up and die of shock on the spot. Thanks, Mom. Alright, the goal of the Pulse Mine project was to capture and protect a large area. Originally, the resulting barrier was intended to encapsulate both Labrador and Calcinon City, but willful ignorance afforded me the opportunity to implement some technological limitations, reducing its effective area to only one of the cities. I would have liked to minimize it further, however it was difficult to implement such caveats with Zero policing our ideas. The Pulse Mine relies on Labrador City's power grid to function, meaning its function has been preserved even after shutting off Calcinon's. On a long-range scale, the Pulse Mime's capabilities are solely defensive, however. In close quarters, it is as capable of defending itself as any Pokemon. The barrier itself can only be permeated by authorized personnel as regulated by the machine system itself. In other words, the only way to get inside, to get through it, will be for someone on the inside to grant us access. Unfortunately, even Lumi and I don't qualify to pass through it, as we were sharing Zero's body. The Pulse Klotzer was intended to serve as a high-powered, super long-range artillery. In tandem with the original conception of the Pulse Mine, it would have turned the Labrador-Calcinon area into an undefeatable weapon. Fortunately, I was able to reduce the effective power and range through a series of serendipitous mistakes. The attacks on Calcinon City were effectively an arms test. I'm personally grateful that the damage could be minimized. The Pulse Klotzer was energized by Calcinon's power grid, meaning unless Miria recaptures the station below, it is inoperational. However, the Pokemon itself is alive and well within the barrier and continues to suffer the system's side effects. I am relieved that Lumi is not around to hear me advise this, but the best course of mercy for that Pokemon would be to put it down entirely. The Pulse 2 is an entirely separate line of pulse systems created for mass production and portability. When designing the Pulse 2, I was permitted to make the safety of the affected Pokemon a priority, so I'm relieved to say that it is much less harmful than its predecessors. In return, it is also much less effective. Unlike the previous line, it is also capable of applying to any Pokemon, as opposed to the specific species it is constructed for. The Pulse 2 does not cause mutations, but it also cannot amplify a Pokemon's strength to extreme levels. Its effect is twofold. First, the Pokemon's abilities are enhanced by a small degree. This is done by effectively maximizing what would otherwise be considered effort values, exceeding the maximum limit that most Pokemon can achieve. Second, the Pokemon's free will is suppressed. Stolen Pokemon, for example, may be controlled without fail this way. Many high-ranking meteors have treated their Pokemon with Pulse 2s by now. Please prepare accordingly. The Arc Pulse is an incomplete project combining the functions of the Pulse 2 with the original line. Using the foundation of the original Pulse system, it is designed for a specific species. As you may conclude from the name, it is Arceus. However, it is more akin to a Pulse 2 in that it does not require a static location, and it contains a strong function to suppress a Pokemon's free will. I cannot fully say what effects it would produce, or if it would cause mutations, since as one might expect, Team Meteor lacks an Arceus to test it on. Further, with the demands for power, portability, and control that have been placed on the project, it requires a unique energy source. Team Meteor lacks this as well, but I understand that their movements in Agate City have been dedicated to producing such a thing. The Pulse Hypno was originally created to put Agate City to sleep and allow Team Meteor to move freely search for this power source. Its hypnotic control functions were added later. Still, there is no evidence that a power source capable of fueling the machine exists at all. Since that, the Arceus, and now my technical expertise are all absent from Team Meteor, I find it highly likely that the project will ever be finished. Unlikely. Yes, so Pulse 2 sets, you can have up to 252 EV in up to 2 stats. With Pulse 2, you have 252 EVs in every stat. Did I ever consider giving the player Pulse 2? Absolutely not, because the reason the Pulse 2 exists in-game is because I still needed a way to make the player have to punch up when they are on even playing field. Earlier in the game, I can do that with levels, but now that we're getting to level 100, and the level differences matter much less, relatively to early levels, and the player has access to just about every move at this point, I still need a way to add some kind of reason to make this not an even playing field, because on an even playing field, it will always be too easy for the player. I do wish that there were some visual indication for when a Pokemon is Pulse 2'd or not, because it's not very clear. But c'est la vie. Yes, Garchomp, Solaris' Garchomp is the first Pulse 2 Pokemon you fight. Jeez, I feel like a high schooler or something. Okay. Onward. Amy, excellent timing. Communication has been received from Ciel of the Agate Circus. The civilians in Agate Circus have finally begun to wake up. In response, Team Meteor has enacted a full-scale flash suppression operation. Ciel and Samsung of the Circus Triumvirate are heavily outnumbered in defense of the city and its residents, and have requested assistance. Estimated likelihood of the scenario being a deliberate ploy to reduce resistance, 83%. And, of course, a course of action must be swiftly decided. No, that last part. It's a trap, so what? If you're going to say we shouldn't go, then just say we shouldn't go. No judgments or suppositions have been made on a suggested course of action. However, significant losses have already been undertaken from the previous endeavor. Discretion is therefore advisable. This isn't discretion. What did I just say earlier? You're just trying to hide your emotional standpoint behind a veil of false objectivity. Like always. If you're scared, then admit you're scared. Don't try to push that fear onto us. So we're going to go help them, right? Obviously. But I'll never hear the end of it if I don't bring this one along. He's been sound asleep for so long. If it were any less of a stupid pun, I'd say he sleeps like a rock. Oi. Titania used Wake Up Slap. Not yet. I still have to defeat the giant metal Lugia. Your city's awake, numbskull. Time for you to be too. Hey, sis, come on, that's enough. Labrador is Steven and Avril is the hardest fight in the game. I believe that because when we pit every trainer against each other automatically, Steven was, as I recall, the highest ranking story trainer. Not counting pulse anomalies and bullshit like that. Did you hear what I just said? Yeah, you said my... Wait, what? And it's under attack by Team Meteor. Wait, what? And he's gone. Yeah, you're welcome. Alright, let's go. You too, Rennie. Girly, even. Yeah. Leon. Understood. Amy, your assistance would be appreciated as well. Please rendezvous in Agate City. I can't get through this way because, yeah. This is a fucking joke. First they say Agate's awake, you can all go home. Now they're keeping us out again? We're very sorry. It's still not safe for you to go into the city. Please understand, there are dangerous people there. We'll take care of it, but in the meantime, please do your best to be patient. Sorry, Amy. I got caught up helping all these guys handle all the traffic. Everyone really wants to go back to Agate now that they heard the people there are awake, but we can't let them just yet. Plus, people have been fleeing the city itself with Meteor. I don't think it'll be easy to get through everyone this way. Try the south entrance to Agate, and I'll join you as soon as I can. Do you have a YouTube channel with all the videos of this run? Yes, we are putting some edited VODs on YouTube. If you look for Amethyst VL, I believe that's my channel, but surely you can find it. It might be linked below, actually. Did I link it below stream like a reasonable person? Yes, there's a YouTube link if you scroll down, under the About Amethyst Black link. Okay, Agate City. Let's go from here. Might have actually been quicker to take the Tauros, but whatever. As long as I don't find any wild Pokemon in this maze. As long as I remember how to maze the maze. Okay. We are here. Some people chased out. Yeah, I made the maze a long time ago, it's fine. Alright. So there's a fun fact, an Easter egg here. Oh yeah, I forgot about the ladder. So now that you've gone into this map, you can immediately fly to Agate City. If you do that, you end up in front of the Pokemon Center. Are you here to help defend the city? Anything is appreciated. We'll take care of things here, but I'm sure there are other parts that need help. Take this for the fight. Maybe it'll help. I'd love it if I wasn't trapped here, but I'm too scared to move. You can't possibly defeat all us. Anyway, now I have to fly back to the other side, but that's a fun fact for you. Seems gay. Cool. Hi. Yes, welcome. Although normal rationale indicates significant disadvantages in 2 versus 1 scenarios, present conditions appear to be an anomaly. Chance of success, 94%. Additional help is best applied elsewhere. I think we talked before about how getting the music to work in this segment was a huge fucking pain. Yeah, music overlapping battles is really nice. Shout out to Jan for telling me how to do that, because I didn't know that there's an RPG Maker default command to set the music for a battle, which I didn't think applied to Pokemon battles, because, you know, that should apply to RPG Maker's default battle system, which is not Pokemon. I didn't realize that they had co-opted it, that it lets you do that for the next music. Vulpes, what was your first Pokemon game?
It was Pokemon Yellow.
Oh wow, so you've been in it for a while.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think I was like 5 when I played it. So I did get most, I think it was like Diamond and Pearl were the first ones I got when they actually came out. So all the ones before that I had were pre-owned copies or second-hand, things like that.
Have you played the new games as well?
Yeah.
What did you think of them? I haven't. I'm just curious.
I enjoyed them. It's very obvious that the development cycle is taking its toll on the games, though, because there's a lot of bugs and issues and things like that. But it's definitely, I'd say the concept is probably one of the stronger ones from the recent games, in my opinion. It's just the execution is unfortunately limited.
Calculated. Yeah, I heard about the bugs. Have they even fixed those yet? Does anyone know? Because I know they said they were going to patch them.
I think some of them have been. I know there's been more issues recently with the like event stuff that's been going on, like the event raids, like they had in Sword and Shield. Same thing. There's been some. I know they've fixed an issue that was with that recently because of, like, I think they'd forgotten. They put in some Pokemon that aren't normally in raids, and one of the default item drops did not have a variant for those, and it broke everything.
Oh, that sucks.
So that was a fun month or however long it took for them to fix that. But so they are fixing things, but I think there are still, like, I think the lag still is there if you're playing for like long periods of time, and
oh boo,
there are still some. I think there are still some just general bugs, but honestly, I've not played that much since the updates in a way that would trigger bugs. I just been shiny hunting mostly, which just involves literally walking around in circles, so not much opportunity to stumble across any bugs.
Yeah, understandable. Do I lose to a Lurantis? Oh my god, I think I lose to a Lurantis. Flinch. Just girl can't play game, true. What is your favorite Pokemon game and why is it Legends Arceus?
I'd say I'm actually quite fond of like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Black and White. I think those were when Game Freak was sort of at their strongest in terms of the development side of things. Obviously, Black and White's story was like the first time they'd actually put effort into the story in the series. And then Heart Gold, Soul Silver was just really fun and well designed. Like, I do distinctly remember when I was moved on to Black and White, I was annoyed that they didn't have the menu on the bottom screen.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
Silver, they had all that on the bottom screen. They had a permanent run button. They had a lot of like little mini game things that were fun. Obviously, the following Pokemon and things like that. And then Legends Arceus is probably my favorite out of them all, out of the 3D games in general, I think.
Yeah, reasonable. No. Because being Wiccan, 2 C's by the way, Wiccan, automatically mean not believing in a higher power or being, or are those two things not mutually exclusive? So that varies a lot between people and practitioners of the faith. Personally, so it's definitely not exclusive, because personally, I would say actually for me, it is not, it is even not just not believing in a higher power, but it is subscribing to the idea that probably, like, in some degree, all higher powers are still, you know, if belief is the main source of energy and power, then anything that still has belief in it still has some degree of power. So, like, I believe in the Christian God, I still believe in, you know, Greek gods as entities of power, you know, gods of nature, Japanese kami and stuff, just an acknowledgement that all of these things that have been figure points of religion can still have their own influence as entities of energy. Oi, media heads! I hope you've had a jam around here because your gig is up. You may play with these. Hey, just where do you think you're going? Flies need no answers, no matter how much they buzz. The only reply is a swat in the silence that follows. Solaris, see to our silence. Do not assume your skill gives you permission to order me around. I am Team Meteor's rightful leader. I call the shots. Orderlies. I mean, you got my back, right? Let's rock them! I forgot that wasn't my Lycanroc for a sec. Okay, we saved it. Nope, we killed it. Adults do be about to cry, though. I'm just gonna keep pressing the funny blizzard button. We gave that Ion Deluge? Ooh, the Smart Strike Lapras. That's big. This is like just to use Eruption, but it's just to use Blizzard. Okay, we should maybe stop using just Blizzard. Wow, I don't have a whole lot of answers for Steel types right now. I mean, there's Lissa, but I don't think I can switch that in safely here. That was I didn't think that was going to Fire Blast. Hardy doesn't Mega here because he's holding back. I wanted there to be some surprises still for the fight. Okay, well, I guess I have a safe switch. You know what, maybe I shouldn't Mega here in case it wants to Moonblast or something. I possibly could have Power-Up Punched, but maybe not without Mega. Lucky Flinch, great. Lantern, now we can do this. Does that kill both? Great. Easy video games. Oh my god, I fucking forgot the Drain Punch still. Who am I? I would definitely use Drain Punch. Don't put words in my mouth. Don't put ideals in my mouth. They don't taste good. Bam! What up, Meteor? While you're turning tail, don't forget to set those two free and lead me to Aya, aight? One battle does not a war win. Okay, this line keeps being reported for being grammatically incorrect. I just want everyone to know this is correct grammar. It is a, like, it is an archaic pattern of grammar, but it is correct. This is his own phrase, people. Because people haven't heard that before. Allow me, I will put them out for you. Stand down. Sir, you are overeager, and were already a hindrance before. I will face Amy alone. That should be agreeable, correct? After all, you are still far outnumbered. If that spirited child steps out, so shall everyone else. Amy's always the superstar, huh? Alright, Belly, this one's all yours. I got your back, though, don't fret. When last we fought, our battle was obfuscated by noise. But I have desired a proper match with you for some time. Amy, you must understand this. As an individual, you have my utmost respect. You uniquely have the God-given beacons of resolve and initiative, as well as the skill to enact them. A younger version of myself might have been envious of you. These are traits which I have had a drought of years to develop. Nevertheless, it is my resolve, my initiative, and my skill that has brought Team Meteor together and into the present. The world will resent our methods like the crying child resents his parents for their discipline. But ugliness is sometimes necessary to protect beauty. I wish to protect this region. Show me how you protect what is dear to you. Okay, this is fine. I should outspeed to get Aurora Veil. Now this is a kill. Alright. I would like to swap Jan out here. Oh, I would so like to swap Jan out here. That's a bullet punch. Good. What are we going to do? I can't poison it, but I want to protect. U-turn? Okay. So we know this is going to be something. Let's see what it is. Okay. That did 0 damage. What are you gonna do? Earthquake. I don't have a good switch in for Earthquake still, which is a real shame for me. No, that switch is fine because it knows that Toxapex is not going to be doing very much damage. It assumes that it has an 80 base power water attack, and it still did that little. Now, I don't know if it assumes Sandstorm, but I have no issues with that switch. It does kill. What's the rest of this team? I think I need Hollow for Sizer. I would like to keep this alive for a pivot. I think I might go ahead and sack Miss Disaster. What's the rest of his team? Excadrill? God, this actually is not a good team for Solaris. Yeah, Lissa takes too much damage for MEQ. If I had Drain Punch, that would be a different story, but I'm a fucking fool. Yes, I pronounce Sizer like that. Gyarados, that's right. Oh, okay, I definitely want that done. Yeah, sure, I don't mind. It's also something that you could research for yourself. Okay, I want this for Garchomp. Does Ninetales outspeed Garchomp, actually? Why can't I switch in Hollow? I want Hollow for Sizer. I need this to be able to take a hit. Well, Sizer's probably going to U-turn out from Hollow. It might actually outspeed. God, do I even have Regenerator on this? I don't. Ugh. It's Mega Chomp, that's a good point. Okay. In that case, maybe the least valuable thing here, I know this is going to take a super effective hit, but maybe actually... Maybe it is actually Jan. I do have Aurora Veil up, I can get rid of the Hail, Moonblast. I'm not going to be counting on this very much, after all. No, I'm gonna sack to Metal Dragon. God, I just want to do both. I need the Hail up again. We'll see if I outspeed without Slush Rush. Ooh, I take 2 hits? And I outspeed. Okay, I take 1 hit. That was a crit, but still. Team's Aurora Veil faded. This is fine. I live. Yes. Okay. Okay. I like Pokemon and hello. Welcome, Diddy Sense. Yeah, Gyarados is like a pseudo legendary, I guess. Yeah, let's do this. That kills, right? Right, Anakin? I really miss Regenerator and Drain Punch. I need to put a little bit more effort into this team. Okay, this is going to be U-turn again. God, that crit, too. Did I Aurora Veil? Did I remember to Aurora Veil? If this Dragon Dance is right now, I just lost. Okay. I think I can sack this. I did? Okay, thank you. I'm just gonna die. Can't waste Aurora Veil turns. I should outspeed. Ooh. That's problematic. That was a really good switch on its part, honestly. Maybe Stealth Rock. It would be kind of dumb, but I kind of don't expect the AI to switch. Yeah, I think it's Stealth Rock. That way we get some damage on Gyarados when it switches in. I'm not sacking Lissa. I think Lissa's my win condition now. I really hope this doesn't switch to Sizor. Great. Oh my god, that did so much damage. What? I thought the Hollow would take that way better. I know it's steel, but still, that's only neutral. The Sizer can't be banded because it's been bullet punching and then you turning out. It might be Life Orb? I'm gonna do this just in case it has Roost. Life Orb. Life Orb. Okay, that's fine. 2 Pokemon. Excadrill? Excadrill and Gyarados. I think I win. Aurora Veil or go for kill? I don't think Blizzard kills. Veil, kill, Veil, Veil, kill, kill. Crowd's really split here. Lissa kills after Blizzard. See, I think that Lissa might kill Bull before Blizzard. He will get Moxie Boost, that's true. So not fail. I don't think that's enough to power up Punch, though. Ooh, with Hail, maybe it is, right? That's a power up Punch range. Children cry because they do not understand. I just have to not miss the high jump kick. I didn't miss the high jump kick. Adults cry because they do. Yes.
Oh wow, crazy.
Yeah. You're losing your edge, Commander. Perhaps a soft bite runs in the family. You would do well to mind your tongue. You might have done well to mind your son, but it's a bit late for that now, isn't it? And just what does that mean? Why don't you ask Amy? After all, no one else here was witness to his final moments. His... what? Did your win condition neglect to mention that? Explain yourself, now. Shall I? But I'm not sure you're in a position to be giving orders here, Commander. Do not forget your place. As I see it, I understand my place a great deal better than you do yours. Consider the following. You've expended your Pokemon's strength. Your ace in the hole has her own intentions. And look around. Are these faces you know? Is this your team? Or is this the team that I acquired through Dr. Connell? Their contracts are with me, not your shambling organization. The truth you can't admit is, you are alone in your goals. Protect the old world? Who's going to care about that? Even the core grunts are recruited under a promise of new life. Surely you must have known this would happen. Even at the beginning, you could only chase those keys because I told you what they had become. You should have listened to that woman. In the end, it comes down to power, and you've blindly depended on ours for far too long. So I ask you, Commander, who really is out of place here? A cowardly move, but there is no other for him. I will go see if this loose end cannot be tied up. Now's our chance, mates. Thanks, kid. Alright, meteors, brace yourselves, because everything you did to her you're about to get back 100-fold. I've got you, sweetie. Just hold on.
Gracious, but I'm afraid if you call me that again, I can't be held responsible for what happens to you.
Sounds like a date.
On second thought, Team Meteor can take you back. I pity anyone who has to stay with these troglodytes for long at all. Don't they know black as a dominant color is so out of fashion? I will implore you keep your hands off of me, thank you very much. Honestly, didn't your parents ever teach you not to touch the artwork?
Amy, why don't you go after Lynn?
Indeed, we'll clean up here.
I hate to admit it, but you might be the only one who can actually deal with that she-devil. I don't like hitting women, but I like what she does even less. Gave her a solid one straight in the kisser, and she didn't so much as flinch. Next thing I knew, we were on the ground. I've made dents in steel softer than that bitch. Steel ain't all that anyway. Go get him, Amy.
Kill them.
That's true. Why am I fighting this one? Why not? This is another patron trainer. This is Amma. Amma's been a long-standing community member for, like, since 2015. Get out of here and let me patch this guy up. Organized criminals aren't the only ones to be too rough on their opponents. I don't know what's going on, but I just saw a woman with green hair just outright walk into the water a moment ago. This isn't like some creepy zombie story, right? So the surf music was part of why the music in this was so bad. And then the wild music on top of that while surfing. So the official story, the non-canon part of the story is that I named everything after crystals, and because I didn't actually finish Pokemon Coliseum, I had forgotten that Agate Village was a place in that, and I duplicated the name. So I'm like, okay, well, we're bordering Ore anyway. I wonder what we can do with this. So the in-universe story is that Reborn and Ore overlap a little bit. The northwest corner of Ore is shared by the northeast corner of Reborn, and the town got a little bit warpy by Giratina bullshit. We just write that one off of under the classic Giratina bullshit.
Yeah, Giratina bullshit, also known as. Yeah, we don't really have a reason. Personally, I think that all of the tie-in has done is really fueled a whole lot of like not quite conspiracy theory, but like the lore master types where they're just like, ooh, I know what happens because we have this here and this here, so that must be that, and it's just like, bro, stop. I think that that's really most of what this has accomplished is fueled a lot of annoying people.
Yeah, that's true. Did it actually change locations? I have left that ambiguous. I leave the possibility there for whatever is most convenient for your suspension of disbelief under the circumstances. However, the layout of Agate City does match the village precisely. It's just a modernized version. Like this channel here, and the shape of this room should match the shape of the room where you walk up to the spring in Pokemon Coliseum and there's like a bridge here. It should match that pretty precisely. And then in here, this is exactly the same graphic. So, as is on the base of the spring. I see. So the gaggle above has already broken apart. And the power source we sought was never here to begin with. All this time they were looking for something that could never have been. Arizona Desert, High Element Dark, yes. We typically imagine that Reborn is, as far as being close to a real-world location, it wasn't originally based off one, but because of the proximity to Ore and the coincidence of the landscape, we assume that Reborn most closely matches Arizona and South California.
Is that why Ozarine Lake looks exactly like California? Like identical?
It sure does, doesn't it?
It looks like it's the exact same place. Anyway, BRB. That's a burritos right back.
Great, sounds good. Bye, Lee. Can she breathe underwater? Yeah, she doesn't adhere to rules. Like, Amaria had her cool anime like mouth filter, but Lynn just doesn't fucking care. She's flat out cheating. All this time they were looking for something that could never have been found, and they destroyed themselves over it. Hey.
Is that in the script?
Yeah.
Okay. I just walked back into that.
I heard you. I heard that, and I was like, that's going to be some timing.
Yeah.
Bye, Lee.
Yeah, bye again. I just kind of automatically put my coat on.
Oh.
And I don't really know why. It's not cold out. So, there we go. I'm fixed.
Okay. Bye-bye. Don't you think it's funny? Don't you think it's funny how easily people break? Everyone in the world wears a stone face. Underneath they swear they're solid gold. Hearts of crystal, souls of steel. But no matter their face, everyone has nothing. You take something away, their home, their love. Something as simple as a single colored pen. And they just fall to pieces. We are made of nothing. And surely it would take an act of God to create something from nothing. The relic stone was hard to sprite, by the way. Life is unfair like that. The player doesn't step. The player gets pushed aside. Now, you can't possibly leave until the show is rightfully over. While you're at it, how about you hand over whatever that big stone business is? Who makes demands with their cheek on the ground? All the souls in this world insist on mercy, but there is none. A world like this cannot exist any other way. I do hope you don't intend to take the moral high ground after everything you've done. Morals are only lies we choose to believe in for our own comfort. Such fictions have no bearing on this world. All that matters is control. Who can make the other man bow? Who can make the other one kneel? Who can make the other disappear? And who can bring them back? What is lost can yet be found. What is found can be extorted. What's extorted is forgotten. What's forgotten is your place. Look out! No, what are you... What happened? Where did he go? What did you do with Samson? Why should the sun care if the stars go out? It is still the center of its own world, unable to see past its own sheen. Shield your eyes or burn them out. It makes no difference. Huh? Again? Of course I care. I always cared. Another black hole? That Gardevoir. It's just like with Cain. Even if it wasn't how he wanted. Even if I couldn't say it. And just what does she know? Why did it listen to her? Why couldn't we do anything again? Okay, so there's been some ambiguity with the route difference here. If you give the ring to Blake at Ametrain, then that changes the timeline of that Ametrain segment very slightly, so that Shelley ends up meeting Cal, and they end up setting their differences aside, and Shelley ends up being a little bit more confident overall. And that confidence and decisiveness leads her to go get Samson for help in that scene, which is why Samson is here and from the beginning, as opposed to showing up late when CL gets black holed. So Samson is able to save her if Shelley is more confident if you gave the ring to Blake. That's why that changes. It's a loose thread, but there is a thread there. Did I do something wrong asking for help stopping her? No, there was nothing we could do. But you weren't wrong to ask us. As always, I just wasn't enough. I've never been. This is disgraceful. I should go. Why does this keep happening? Amy? First King and now this.
I froze up. Why couldn't I do anything? It's my fault. I saw Lynn trying to leave and asked Sansom and CL for help to stop her. Should I have done it alone? Should I have just let her go? I don't...
No way. Then she would have just gotten you instead. Quick note, the thing is off-center here because... So, depending on which way you go, because you can fly out, this is Fly's fault, if you surf down, you can enter from, like, here, or if you fly, you can enter from down here, or all the way up here. And I can pan to a certain spot depending on where you started, but it was a huge pain to pan back to wherever you started and keep Shelly in view, where this could be at any of 3 different locations. So I just decided to leave it imperfect. Does it being off-center bother you a ton? I wouldn't say a ton, but I do notice it. And I assume that other people notice it. No way, then she'd have just gotten you instead. I'm not saying anyone's more valuable than anyone else, but at the least it'll do more harm than good if you don't let up on yourself. Ain't no one can blame you for not taking something on you can't handle. Chin up, Shellbell. Best way to honor those that ain't with us is to not let that loss stop us from doing what we gotta. The others have rounded up a bunch of meteor guns and they're taking them into city to lock them down. They've got their Pokemon helping, but I can't imagine they couldn't use another set of hands. Why don't you roll out with them?
Oh, okay.
My sis is with them. She may not be good for much more than sharp words most of the time, but the 2 of them seemed to be hitting it off earlier, her helping Shellbell with the whole backbone thing. I think she'll be good for her. Well, one way or another, that just about takes care of Meteor for here. It's good to be home. I'm gonna go hit up the townsfolk and tell them that it's safe now. After that... You already know what I'm gonna ask, right? I've been looking forward to a battle with you ever since I saw you fight Aya. It's gonna feel great to use my gym again. Then we can roll back up to Calcinon and find a way to save Aya. Sound good to you? I'll be waiting, mate. It was like, you know, having the view in place where it happens emphasizes emptiness. Yeah, no, this is an artistic choice. Let's go with that. Alright. Hardy. We do have a few trainers to get through. What's my plan here? My plan is the non-eruption equivalent of just use eruption. Nobody has time for plans. I'm going to have to figure out this, this gym puzzle. Oh no. Live on stream. I'm sure I could get it with enough time. But I don't know if I get it quickly. Amy, how is our favorite champion doing? Super Rich Hardy, yes? You're nearly there. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is that, like me, Hardy fights in doubles. His main strategy is something like a brute force attempt. Outspeed and punish both opponents at once. His signature move, Rock Slide, is great at that, on top of a notable flinch chance. When fighting in a rocky field, flinches can blah 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 blah. That's not actually dialogue. You always do, right, champion? Good luck, we're all counting on you. If only someone put in a cheat to solve this puzzle. But who would do that? No one I know. Isn't it a bit late in the game to only have 2 Pokemon for a gym trainer? I think that it's appropriate to still keep trainers having not full teams, because then the pacing is a little bit better. But the theme of this gym is there's just a weather team for everything. Alright, that's everybody. I will go heal. I have no intention of fighting the other guy. And I will try to do this puzzle normally. I don't actually know if I have properly done this puzzle ever. I just made sure it worked for, like, testing-wise, you know? I feel awkward about plagiarizing, you know, Smoke on the Water in a Pokemon universe, but, you know, that's fine. So, I don't actually know chords very well. I don't think it is actually public domain. That was only the 70s, right? Oh, actually, please note. I did that. Yeah, this is a music puzzle. Gotta match Hardy's Rockstar thing. $70 years? I thought it was 50. But yeah, I knew it was Life of the Author as well, yeah. Oh yeah, because Disney keeps increasing it, right? Every time it's about to, like, expire something. I feel like I still need to get my bearings on this. Did you use citrus for this, or did you use another VST? I don't remember, actually. It was probably citrus for the time that I made this. Would just go one note at a time. That's probably fair. Hold on, I'm just gonna listen to it again. See if I can get that starting note at least. Okay, speed up doesn't help. The last two are the same. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Are these two the same? Can absolutely not get close. I don't think this is right. I'm just gonna see how close it is. Okay, that's all too low. Especially from that fourth note. So this one I said was too low still? As soon as you saw this puzzle, you gave up? Yeah, well, and there's some... So I really wanted to do a music puzzle, but I know that some people, A, don't have a musical ear, B, don't have working, like, computer speakers, so there always had to be an out for this one. So this always had to be a completely optional puzzle. Oh, that's bad. Hold on, I think the third note was off now. Yeah. Bow, 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 bow. See, now I'm thinking like, God, would I have put in the full G to G scale if it didn't actually use both extremes of the G? Would I have done that? Oh, that was awful. Rock climbing across strings that play notes is such an awesome concept for a rock leader. I'm glad you think so. Like, I tried to make these all like guitar frets here. Like, you see the little strings here? Four hours? We like 7 is not so bad. We aim for either 6 or 7, right? But I do want to beat Hardy this stream. God, what time is it over there, Vulpes? Am I keeping you up too late?
It is 1:45, but I'll be alright for a bit longer.
Okay. I tried to hurry.
That's alright.
God, I feel like there's a spot of lag there. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. This is actually the low one? Bam, 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 bam. Just gonna see how that works. Getting there. That first one should be higher, I think.
I think the two on either side of the break should be the same note, shouldn't they? Sounds like.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's close. That first section is totally off, actually. First note after the break should be off, you think? Whoops. That's not gonna help. Bam, 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 bam. I think the first section was just like off one way or another. Bam, 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 bam.
I think B sounds closer on that one to me.
Yeah. Oh, actually, is it maybe C? C, E, G. C, ba, ba, ba. There we go.
Oh.
Okay. Alright. We got through it. Like I said, I hadn't actually done that before, because at the time that I was making it and testing it, I just knew the answer. That was, This is kind of a pain to make, especially trying to get, like, the tempo when rock sliding anything remotely, similar. Because I only have so many RPG Maker speeds to work at. Moon with Ninetales? That's true. Thank you. Come on, that's the button. Alright. Does Wide Guard protect from my own Earthquake? Surely not, right? I don't think it does. But what I will do is put this out front for Sparkling Aria. Held item Toxapex. And no one needs that shit. Fine. I don't think I have a leftovers handy. Oh, but maybe I
Wide
have
Guard
a...
protects. Yeah, it looks like Wide Guard does work on Surf. On Earthquake, even.
Really? On your
Wide
own
Guard
Earthquake?
protects all Pokemon on the user's side of the field for the rest of that turn from moves that can target multiple Pokemon, even those used by an ally that strike all Pokemon on the field, such as Earthquake and Surf.
Oh.
Apparently.
Okay, let's try it out. God, if I win through Wide Guard though, God, that's not going to be very satisfying. I just want to see, because like I keep, I keep people say that Wide Guard completely breaks this battle, and I get it, but they say it breaks the AI, and every time I try to test the AI with this, it seems like it works fine. What's up, mate? I've been pumped for this for a while. You ready to roll? Hell yeah. Don't you dare think I'm some kind of pushover like my sister, right? There's a reason I'm ranked higher than her. Let me show it to you in double time. This is gonna rock! I like cheese that's funny, not cheese that's popular. You know, I suppose that Earthquake doesn't do much against Aerodactyl now, does it? But let's just find out. YOLO! Wow, that does work on Wide Guard. That's actually really nice to know. Alright, so now that I've done that, surely they don't go for Rock Slide again, right? Yeah, he is actually faking the accent. How does Rockman beat Steel Lady? It's not even that he beats her directly, but like this happened in the online league as well, because Hardy ended up ranked higher than Titania just because he ended up getting a strategy that had a more effective, I should say more reliable basis on challengers, because we ranked people by win rate, so he ended up having a much higher win rate. He developed it matching some of the rock stars that he idolized. I imagine kind of taking over. I know it's British rather than Australian, but same kind of deal with fucking what's his name? I've forgotten it. The lead singer of The Who. But The Who? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ooh, a withdraw. Ooh, that's right into the rock slide. I will, you know what? I will forgive myself for using Wide Guard once. That's it. I mean, the online league, was it always meant to be, or did it develop? Oh no, so it was always that they had a rivalry based on that, but that happened naturally. I didn't force that to happen. That happened organically. All right, let's get our. I don't know how it survived surf. That was weird. I also thought that was weird. I'm just gonna surf again and Aurora Veil, and then this is easy, I think. Ooh, I don't get the Aurora Veil up. That's okay. I do have the hail now for Slash Rush. I'm just thinking, because like Toxapex really doesn't do that much damage to Hardy, but they're doing a very good job of focusing on the one side because they don't want to use the Rock Slide, which is what his whole strategy is based on. You know, it's not like the AI is falling over here. The AI is doing well. I think I want to get this Lycanroc out of here.
Is there anything in the AI that accounts for, like, the reduced chances for protecting moves after it's been used once, in terms of, like, attacking into it?
I think that there
could potentially be a thing here.
Yeah.
Where they use, like, after one Pokemon's revealed Wide Guard, they use Rock Slide the next turn, sort of thing.
I see what you're saying, and you have a good point. So part of the issue is that actually does not apply to Wide Guard. Wide Guard reduces the protect rate, but is not reduced by the protect rate, so you can just spam that. But I wonder about that as well. That's a good point to think about. I'm just gonna hit Sparkling Aria. It knows it's dead. Holy shit, Excel Rock kills? Maybe I don't quite win. Because Excel Rock that turn... No, I think I win. I think even Surf kills both of these guys. Right? I forgot to Mega. That's okay. It can't win. I just Baneful Bunker and then it's poisoned. Looks like I still got a ways to go. Looks like I choked after all. Well, cheer badge is yours, mate. You've earned it. Did you include the chance for Protect to fail turn 1 in Reborn? No? I don't think I did. With that bit, your Pokemon are good for up to level 95. Almost to the top, huh? Peep that TM. Best slide in the world ain't... Best slide in the world that ain't on a guitar, you know? Bet you can see some use for it. Well, I'm counting on you to get some good use of it. The final showdown with Meteor probably ain't far off now. And no matter what, I'm gonna get Aya back. If I gotta beat all of Meteor for it, fine. If I gotta beat you for it, I'll do it. You get what I'm saying? You gotta stay on track to finish the job. Thank you for the follow, Kirby. Yeah, I can't wait any longer. I'm heading back to Calcinon right now. I'll bust through that barrier one way or another. And when I do, Team Meteor is through for good. Catch you there, Amy. Probably out of fast travel there now that we're not between episodes. Okay, that's that. We actually did finish within the usual 4 hours. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you Vulpes for being here, even though that was kind of just a lot of dialogue. Any final questions for Vulpes? I'm glad you like Reborn. We'll finally finish my breakfast at the end of the stream. CL is a good point. Yeah, let's go talk to CL to end this off. Is your favorite mon still Zoro? She answered that earlier. Sounds like it's kind of a mix up there.
Yeah, my favourite is actually Cantonian Ninetales. I just liked the idea of having a Zorua there for as like a sort of in-universe justification for the fields being different.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I like that. And it is cute with your with the design you did for your character. We are going to start episode 19 next stream, which, because of the way it works out, is not next week. Next week is the last Saturday of the month, so we're skipping because I'm spoken for. So July, is that 1st? Is that July 1st? Yes, July 1st will be the next stream. We will jump into episode 19. We do have some side quests from episode 18 to clean up, like Blaziken if we haven't already, Trico, etc. Probably wouldn't hurt to get the starter quest wrapped up. So we'll take some time between then and now. CL, and then we end. Somebody should also remind me when we come back to TV dialogue, since we've been the next later. Please forgive me. I'm afraid I'm not fit to perform at the moment. Not on a stage, nor face to face, nor anywhere else. I may act like a star, but it is just that, after all. No matter how clean the makeup is, I know I'm just a country girl in over her head. Often literally. I grew up in a farm town where the most exciting thing was watching the clouds pass. Didn't have much in the way of friends, nor avenues with which to meet them. Just a family that was fractured in exactly as mundane a way as anyone else's. It was somewhere between drab and vexatious.
One day a traveling circus came to the nearby city. My cousin and I snuck away to meet it, that's Ace of course. And just the lights, the sounds, complete sensory overload. I was sick for a week. But the people were fantastic. The stars were all good and well, but the audience, they were something. Everyone from bleacher to bleacher couldn't help but smile and cheer. I felt more love in that little tent than I had in most of my life. And I was sure that such amazing performers could never be bored or lonely if I could just be like them. But no, I never could. I'm just a bumpkin flailing in the sky, the silks. I don't have half of their talent, grace, or beauty. My knees are too stubby, my shoulders too broad, and good graces, have you seen my dimples? How anyone finds the strength to put palm to palm is beyond me. I'm sure it is an act of charity, if not mockery. My own carelessness pushed my king away, set 7 stars too high. And even so, the others never minded. Samson had always looked out for me, no matter how much I rejected his advances. And Tara, obnoxious as she was, they didn't think about whether I was real or not. They were just there. Brutish and clamorous and altogether the picture of indecency. But I do have such fond memories, and now they're gone. Pack it up, the show is over. Better go back to watching the clouds. That one looked like a star. Perhaps I could ask for its autograph.
The dimples thing is a reference to before episode 19, her mug sprite. I am not practiced at animating smiles. That was one thing that Krim encouraged me to broaden my horizons on. But her smile was a little bit uncanny valley territory before. Alright, that will be it. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.
Bye.